Hey, what it do? What it do? What up? What up? What up? Happy Saturday, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing good, feeling good. Y'all, it's time to get things started. APAC-North kicking off here in about 10 minutes. We got us some English coverage this year over with the APAC-South Hub, the homies. So we'll be hanging out with them tonight. All right. Make sure we're good to go here. We got groups A versus B. I realized that I made the mistake on the thumbnail, which is unfortunate. Apparently had the wrong teams. The groups on APAC, or the groups on Wikipedia are apparently wrong. It's a big old Sag. So let's go over teams real quick as far as for today. Yeah, well, the Wikipedia page was wrong. Oh, this is North America. So we do still have Crazy Raccoon today, but I think literally the rest of the thumbnail. Nope, that's a lie. Northeption also in here. We also have Riddle Order, which is one of the partnered teams. Crazy Raccoon picked up the old Gombre squad. Boom. So they've got Dogma, Juzna, and Jung-hee. Gombre was decent in APAC-North last year. I would say behind, you know, the trio. Ranked Apex? No, I'm good. I appreciate it. How you doing, Subsy? What up, Ducky? Quack, quack, quackerton. I'm just happy to see Crazy Raccoon back in general, to be fair. If we're being real. I'll pull the Wikipedia page up in the back to see whenever scores start updating, we can update the actual chat.
2 regular season splits. The Split 1 regular season features 4 regions made up of 30 teams, seeded into 3 groups of 10 teams each. Pro League teams will begin by competing in a triple round-robin format, where each
I wonder who they
plays a
had
match
do the
series
video.
against every other group 3 times. After these matches have been completed,
Damages,
the
maybe?
top 20 teams, according to the regular season standings, will compete in the regional
So
finals.
chat, how's everyone feeling,
At the
man? How's their
conclusion of the
Saturday so
regional
far?
Finals, 40 teams, including teams from all 6 ALGS regions, will have qualified for the Split 1 playoffs.
Oh, black screen. Here we go. All right, so the next couple of weekends, we're still going to start at the same time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, which is 12 p.m. JST, Japanese Standard Time. Feel free to do the time adjustments for your world clock from there. But this week, just like APAC South last night, we're only going to have ourselves one lobby. So tonight's going to be A versus B. We'll keep that up in the background. I hope that music's copyright free. We'll find out, I guess. But yeah, that's the Crazy Raccoon squad. So these are the teams for today. Hey, now we've got actual emblems. Honestly, I think Northeption's the team that I'm gonna be looking for the most in this lobby. Northeption was part of the like 3-team shakeup between Northeption, Pulverex, and Fnatic. I guess technically FC Destroy was included in that as well. The Gombre squad that is now Crazy Raccoon, pretty solid. I want to say Riddle Order also made quite a few changes to their roster as well. So, APAC-North. Yeah, Riddle Order was in both lands, or all 3 lands last year. But I believe they made a pretty decent roster change, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2 of their players left back at the end of October to go to Kinotrope. I wonder if they know that they don't have casters going right now. I'm gonna turn their stuff off for now. But yeah, Riddle Order is the team that had the dude that did the arm. All right, good to see we're off to a good start with the hiccups in the internet. Fuck yeah, love it. Looks like we're all right, though. We back, baby. We are so back. I know it's weird because all of a sudden it has a clock that says 5 minutes up at the top, but I'll be honest, I don't remember when it went out. Was it probably when I said Riddle Order was the one that had the dude that did the arm wave thing on broadcast? But APAC-North, like a lot, like EMEA, like a lot of teams had roster changes. 2 of the players from Riddle Order at Champs are now on Kinotrope. Melstera was Fnatic. And Saku was Pulverex. Whereas Yukio is the one remaining player. You're a mess. So I'm excited to see that we've got an English broadcast back for APAC-North. Gonna be excited to see what the caster talent looks like for that. And I still haven't figured out as far as tomorrow quite yet. I don't think so. Let me see if there is a team stream thing for today. Bet you the only events that are going to be up for this are going to be EMEA and NA tomorrow. Might not even have an EMEA one for real. Yeah, all we have is NA. Like, bro, tell me how we can have command center for the his and hers tournaments. We can't for Pro League. I need questions. Answer right meow. To be fair, I wonder if it's a challenge because, well, I mean, they could still just do it through the organizer. But, excuse me, in the Pacific, you have a lot of people who stream on different platforms between Billy. You will have some Twitch. I think there are some other Pacific platforms as well. So I wonder if by having but they don't have. But it is? Right. Well, I mean, some of them, it'll depend, but correct. You gotta remember, Moon, we're an esports winner, dog. That's monies. Know what I'm saying?
The Split 1 regular season features 4 regions made up of 30 teams.
Didn't we just watch this?
Of 10 teams each. Pro League teams will begin by competing in a triple round-robin format, where each group plays a match series against every other group 3 times. After these matches have been completed, the top 20 teams, according to the regular season standings, will compete in the regional finals. At the conclusion of the regional finals, 40 teams, including teams from all 6 ALGS regions, will have qualified for the Split 1 playoffs.
All right, time to get down into it. Let us see it. Our casters.
All right, hello. Good morning, everybody, and we are live from
There we go.
Manila, and we are going to watch ALGS today. Joining me is none other than Sneaky Frog.
Hello.
All right, Chad, let me know if the broadcast ends up being too high where it's drowning me out or if I need to turn it up a little bit. It looks like it's a little soft at the moment, giggity.
1 p.m. in Australia. Kind of lucky, not gonna lie, to tune in at 1 p.m.
Indeed.
Where we kind of had to wake up at 9 in the morning. But we digress. It is the APAC-North ALGS Global Series. We are doing Group A versus Group B today, Lily. It is gonna be a good one.
So
Turn
we
myself
have
down.
20
Dougie, shut
teams
up.
over here, 10 from Group A and 10 from Group B. We are going to be starting by discussing some of the teams.
Or you being like,
some
for
of
real,
the
is it like
scrim
peaking or
results,
something?
but
It looks like
as
it's
we
fine.
know, from what happened in APAC South Pro League just a day ago, scrim results don't really mean anything.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty much of a banger. All of the games coming in from the south side of APAC, you know, just like I said.
Hey, Ducky coming in with the gifted Submarino to Moon.
Some of the teams that
Yo,
they
appreciate
had
you,
at the
Ducky.
moment. So yeah, I mean, judging from scrim results here, Lily, obviously, I think
Making sure he's good for no
the
ads.
participants at the moment, I think easily, Kinotrope has been doing such a great job when it comes to.
You're gonna
scrim,
keep it a
especially
buck,
as of recent,
oh.
because they actually, I think they placed first in their recent scrim, and I think it really showed the strength of Kinotrope Gaming and how good the team actually is as a unit. So, yeah, expecting some good things happening from them, especially maybe they're one of the teams to watch out for to come in maybe in first place.
Well, aside from Kinotrope Gaming, we're also looking at Northeption, Reject, and Riddle that has also been performing pretty well from the recent
Well,
streams.
regardless, Moon, I
But
appreciate you,
we will
fam.
be heading into Stormpoint firsty. And
If
from
your
the
last sub was with a
internal
Prime
discussions
sub,
we
and
were
I don't know if it
having
was or
earlier,
not,
seems
but
that
primes
there are
don't
no
reoccur.
cons at Stormpoint.
It's pretty peaceful.
Well, yeah, it's pretty peaceful, but given the new changes, maybe we'll see a different kind of play happening in the future.
Yeah.
We've seen major changes to some of the POIs. Look at what they did to my fish farms. I mean, a storm went through
Yes,
it,
sir,
and
yes,
it's
sir.
just ruined now. But I was watching the scrims earlier. Wait, not earlier, rather last night. I was watching the APAC-North scrims last night. And I've seen the zone end exactly at where fish farms used to be.
How was work today,
And I
Duck?
think we might be seeing some pretty interesting end games with these new POIs. We've also seen games happening and pulling.
I love
towards
how
where
in number
Antenna used
18,
to be, which
there's
has
a,
now been replaced with the new POI.
Spelling
Also,
mistake?
We have High Point, that is now Zeus Station, and we might be seeing more interesting rotates from the teams because I've been.
It was
really
as.
noticing
Oh,
that
that's
some teams are
unfortunate,
starting
bro.
to run Valkyrie.
True. Actually, I've been seeing a lot of picks coming out that usually we don't see from the other regions. I think the biggest thing, or at least another pick that has gotten up in popularity as of recent, is also that crypto in APAC especially. I've been noticing.
I mean, that is fair. I wasn't sure.
Maybe
Maybe he just was, wanted to get home and
they can just set up
maybe
the
he
fight
wanted to
for
get
free
home
now
and get in
to
his
get
underwear,
this
Moon. I ain't want to
information. I think
judge.
Scrims down south as well.
Maybe he wanted to get home
Some
and
of
take
the
his
other teams
pants
are
off.
also,
I don't fucking
running
know.
that crypto to get that early information, and surprisingly, those teams who are actually running said crypto were more aggressive more than anything. You would expect a team that has crypto in it.
Hey, yo, look, I'm just saying. I'm not one to judge.
Just game the third party, but no, it's all different here in APAC, Lily. You know,
Never
they
know
see
what
an
a man's
enemy,
got
they
going
the
on in
enemy
his
down,
life.
that
You know what I'm
means
saying?
there's the green light to push.
I'm guessing that it's because of perfect information that's giving them that sort of confidence to push through and making them play even more aggressive than how we usually see APAC North teams playing. I think there's a common.
So we saw
misconception
yesterday in
that
APAC South that the
North
games
likes
were
to play
actually very
passively,
much
likes to play zone, but I think
more
that
of
is
your
completely
traditional
wrong
international
based on
play,
the
because
fact
I do
that,
feel like
well,
often we
based on how
see
they're playing in the
in
scrims,
both
almost
Asian
all the
Pacific
teams have a
regions,
Bangalore,
North and South,
and they use
that we
her,
see the lobbies become a little
as
bit more frag
fragger
heavy.
or as a refrag,
I
or as
felt
a
like we
manager,
saw a
depending on how
lot
their
of
team
teams
comps.
playing more low and
Aside
slow,
from that, we've
playing
been seeing
zone instead of
teams
trying to
run
play
down the
edge.
lobby, just
I wonder if we'll see something
basically
similar
forcing their way
in
into the
APAC
zone
North.
by fighting as many teams as they can. In well, this is in the scrims. Obviously, Pro League is a different issue altogether.
for
It's
sure.
going to affect how the teams will actually play at the very first match of the day, at the very first.
You think
day
we'll
of
see
Pro
the kind
League.
of more
But you can see how
typical
the teams
frag heavy
aren't letting
in
the
APAC North?
stereotypes dictate the way they play. They play how they want to, and that's exactly what I like about Pro League. It's a mix of a bunch of different play styles. It's a mix of a bunch of different teams.
No,
players
I
from
honestly
different
don't think that was so much the case
Some
yesterday
of
at
them
APAC
have
South.
competitive experience in other FPS. Some do not, and now we
Oh,
might
maybe in the
see
past.
even
It wasn't the
more
case really
action,
last year.
even more glory, and even more fame.
At least not like during
But for now-
regional play.
Sticky, you know what time it is?
Oh, I know what time it is. It is time to start on that storm point right now because the team's are already ready and roaring to go.
Like in international play, they'll play
Because
more zone, but
it
in
is
like
ALGS.
regional
We're
play
back.
itself,
It's the start of the year. Last year already happened.
like you'll have
everyone
teams like
everyone
in the
knows
past,
TSM won, but is there gonna be something
Northeption,
We're gonna
Fnatic,
start, of course,
Crazy
with
Raccoon when they were in it
the
before.
splits, but we are
Not,
gonna get
not
into
this
the game into
Gombre
this
roster,
split.
although the Gombre roster was
And,
similar too.
Yeah, I mean, so far pretty standard. out of everyone.
Those teams in
And
regional
also,
play
what comes in with the recent
would
patches
just
is
frag
also
their
they
asses off on
kind
their
of
way
like
to
play,
zone.
you know, the rise prevalence are actually the bigger
Let's head that way.
All right, so here's our drop spots. It's a shame it looks like they don't have Oh. I wonder if they realize that they don't have they don't have the casters on it.
Repeating. Evo shield here. Level 2. Dibs.
And we're seeing, for example, Monster right now, just looting, getting a 30-30, getting a Volt SMG. And I like the fact that the Volt SMG has slowly creeped its way into the meta.
Yeah, so
replacing
they
the
changed
R19
the
SMG. Some players seem to be
bottom
using
rights.
it alongside
The colored portions that
R
had the
SMG,
team names of
actually.
who was dropping where. Moon.
It's been quite a great time for the Volt as of recent. I mean, the patch did come in. It is slightly buffed. A lot more players.
They're gonna need to turn up their
That Volt, but
casters.
You know what stayed here, Lily? You know what stayed this entire time? The 30-30. It's always good.
Oh,
The
that
dirty
is-
30,
You
baby.
just farm so quick with that weapon, and you can get blues so quick. But I mean, at this very moment, you can't really get any blues because there's no contest. But I
Optics
think
here.
some teams,
Hey, mates,
by the time
let's
that
go.
the circle comes in, they're gonna start to look for some poke with these weapons. And you can see there's already like, I think I've seen at least like 5 30-30s already.
Like, for example, over here.
I mean, the
look at
30-30's always been a
Northeption
staple,
running
but
the
it's.
Watson crypto in a
I feel like
Bangalore
even after the
with
nerf
Yuka
to
Pero
the hip
running
fire,
the 30-30.
it's still
Again, this
even
might
nastier
be
at short range.
Actually, as early as, you know, the very first match of Split 1 Pro League, the 30-30 might be the new superstar of the competitive Apex scene. We've been seeing people running it down with the 30-30 on pubs, on rank, and even in comp. And I think that just goes to show how strong this weapon is. A lot of people are saying it's broken, but I'm not sure if that's exactly
I love the new map. One, I love like the colors in the sky. I think look a lot better.
Speaking
But
of
I also
that,
like how the
next
southern
turn,
part of the map plays.
30-30s already, plus Yuka Pero picked up that 3x. That means the distance of that weapon is going to be
I think having the couple of different, but like the whole south eastern portion of the map all looks different. Basically from launch site down below that over to barometer, that whole corner.
Maybe try and see if Razy can get some armor, but yeah, it's not going to be a fight. I think that team is more.
They gotta balance their casters up on top of the.
That's all right. Meanwhile, I think we are seeing.
Yeah, Jurassic has
over
an actual
used to be now called
like has like more buildings to play around in it, which is pretty cool.
Seems to be just a standoff at the moment, Sneaky.
Yeah, not much of a fight, more of just the two teams kind of feeling each other out at this point. Don't want to go too far forward, but we are already seeing some teams flying in on the devastated coast already and trying to see if they can take.
So it looks like we're gonna have a more southern zone,
that is running that Watson, so that means
which isn't really a big surprise on Storm Point. It feels like we see more of those southern zones over here, anyways.
Crypto, but what's interesting as well here, Lily, is just like I said earlier, the Bloodhound also getting some play in these lobbies.
It looks like this might actually pull like deadass down to devastated coast, kind of like it used to pull down to fish farms.
Want to have that ultimate in your pocket just in case you have to play that.
So it's now devastated coast, but yeah, it's in the same corner of the map as fish farms used to be. Moon.
It seems that crypto is mostly being used as a counter to the hard Bangalore meta, where nearly every team in this lobby is running a Bangalore. Oh, look at that EMP from How. But
yeah,
I think he's just boosting them, really. I'm not sure if that exactly is a signal for a push, or they just really want to get info in the team.
Yeah, they put the POIs a little closer together, and even on the outskirts of the map, they made it so you can't play quite as far out to the water as well, Moon.
So here's an EMP, just to remind you of so. But area
and I believe they kind of limited the water zones as well. Even though we already saw one, I think, yesterday during APAC South, but you know, what can you do?
This spot near the devastated coast, but yeah, I think the rest of the squads are still trying to file into the zone itself. But in terms of kills, not much in the way. I can see the top right counter here, Lily. 60 people.
So I think on Storm Point, when they showed it, there's no contests in APAC-North, which is different than APAC South.
20 squads still alive, 60 players still alive, and we're seeing more and more of them rotate into zone. This feels like a repeat of what happened in the earlier Pro League matches from the other regions, where absolutely nothing is happening. For round one closing, no cons, little to no cons. Just rotates, just looting. Just
Bro, I literally said we're seeing it more like that this year. What the fuck? No, I feel you. Yeah. Yo, Ramirez, appreciate the follow over on TikTok, fam. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Friday, or wow, Friday. What am I thinking? We're watching APAC South. Saturday evening, maybe it's Sunday morning, depending on where you're at. This beautiful sphere we call Earth.
A death box already. I like how as soon as I said that there is no fight to go.
Chad, this is game number 1 here.
Already.
For groups A versus B, and APAC-North for ALGS opening weekend. Hopefully everyone's doing good, feeling good.
Alive already, but other than that, yeah, not much in the way of action in and around our map.
Looks like our squads are playing quite conservative to start things off. Kind of more duplicating the international pace of play, which I think is good, because I feel like sometimes we saw teams.
It's going to be hard considering how flexible Bangalore is.
Particularly in both of the Asian Pacific regions.
Team. Depending on how you use her, she's actually
playing
really
a little
good.
more frag heavy.
She can provide
which
the
I felt
few
like,
kills that the team needs, but wait, is that a solo Valkyrie?
What it? But what?
Already attempting a banner play.
Oh.
Satoshi
Okay, that makes
Sparks
sense.
Do hear the Valkyrie, do know
Yeah,
that
but
she
even
can
NA isn't really a heavy A region, right? Like, I would argue that NA has kind of been the one who has been leading the charge to move it back to more of the zone early, pick up your kills along the way, but not trying to push the rate of pace on edge of zone.
the first team to lose a member for this match is
So I
first
think of
place
teams like
today.
Ironblood Gaming, like from Split 1 last year, right? From APAC South. Was just able to roll through APAC South, but then they got to land
down, so it is only Kyuta left in this situation.
and struggle.
SBI is gonna try to
Exo Clan the same way last year out of APAC South.
It just went from bad to worse in that situation. Esports is actually the first one down in the background, so
Well, land's different because it's higher level play, sure, but also because you have a mixer of the different regions. I wouldn't say you have to play zone. We saw Ironblood Gaming able, I mean, granted, they finished 10th, but they finished 10th at LAN. I mean, I think you see some teams have success.
At the moment,
Furia champions 2 years ago.
All of them are inside the zone, while the rest are fighting over by the edge side, and I'm not really sure what's happening. It feels like half of the lobby wants to play
I think
zone,
it's best
wants
to,
get those
especially
easy
once you get into
positions
top
and
30, top 20
everything else,
lobbies, right?
As early as now, while some of the teams, meanwhile, are
You know, winner's
still
bracket.
outside of the zone. Speaking of, did I just hear gunshot? Seems like there's a fight. Oh, it's some of the zone
Grand
teams
finals,
fighting
etc.
together. Vortex, whoa. The two draft members. Oh.
And Kinotrope's gonna be out
Down over
19.
there from Akuma. Kinotrope Gaming eliminated 18 squads remaining and 53 more players in the lobby, and after getting that KP,
So it seems
goes
like the
back to
one
crafter,
staple
gets a shield battery,
that
and
is
moves on with his
consistent from
life.
Stormpoint and APAC-North, that's also consistent in APAC South. Or, I guess, flip that. That was consistent in APAC South, that also is consistent in APAC North. Is we are still seeing an absolute butt ton of Bangalore's.
Very first match of the day, and we just saw that scrim
I'm
results.
seeing in chat
really
from one of the
dictate what will
admins, I think it
happen
looks like
in the
there's
game.
20 Bangalores in this lobby, so every team's got one. It's a lot of smoke.
That's just a fancy coincidence, but 18 squads left already.
Interesting to see a Revenant already out.
Seeing crafting still in and around our map, and still Yuta alive and alive in this on the other side of the DOI at least. So he's gonna try and see if he can rat maybe all the way into top 10, but there is still some teams looking out. Ooh, see a fly in on the side of Techwing here, so we're gonna have to be careful because it is Northeption, but Northeption.
One thing I do like about Devastated Coast, similarly to like we saw with Fish Farm, is there's a lot of real estate that can be shared. Or not shared, but it can be taken up in the different buildings.
Situation though with Techwing running triple purples with Northeption still on white.
Yep, the napkin blue purple, not the best situation here for Northeption. So they're gonna have to see if they can get out of this situation.
Remember, Taida was the one last year for Northeption that was running the
yeah, they just kind of stay in that building.
Newcastle at times when they played it.
Get a bit of hope, maybe for Razy to get that armor up, maybe at least up to blue. But Northeption to see if they can get the first move in this fight. And it is going to be thrown.
Again, Northeption in the mix of teams, kind of flipping up their rosters in the offseason.
Not too far. Good shots with the 30-30, and that is going to be Roosevelt down. Techwing, all of a sudden you had the advantage at the start of the fight, but now you are one player down.
Can the smoke get you your res?
But Northeption looking.
Techwing's gonna try and push this here.
Wait a minute. That Revenant is rolling! Nice triple take shot from Taida, but Taida has to go back. Has to save himself. That's a
Feels like the game's getting a bit loud, you know?
Gonna at least dissuade the fight from going all the way.
Skynade's going off.
This is
Unfortunately, the broadcast is a bit soft, but that's fine. We don't really need that.
Oh my goodness.
Ducky's like, I'm out, dog. See ya.
Bangalore. Northeption just looking to see if they can clean up the rest of Techwing here, and that is actually crazy because I think that, yeah, just like we said, the start of that fight, Techwing had the advantage since they have purple, but I think we counted out Yucapero here of being too good with the 30-30, so
Yeah, not to mention teammates really good on the refrag. Getting that kill, getting that turns, forcing the solo.
Yeah, I think they were hoping that with
be off position, but speaking of,
enough
he's
teams
grabbing
around
that
them that they
solo,
wouldn't
got
get full
spotted.
scent like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
But c'est la vie, you know.
oh, trying to rat. I think once you lose both of your teammates, that's your
Especially in the
only
world of
life.
Stormpoint.
17 squads remaining. Oh my goodness, what was I
Wow.
watching? Those wingman shots were insane. TechWing eliminated 16 squads remaining.
Yeah, Mo's. And
Yeah, every team's looking at you, but that also means every team's going to be looking at anyone who leaves their position, right?
It's actually really important for Bangalore, especially.
So I think they were hoping that maybe they weren't going to get pushed and they'd be able to sneak in their res, but just wasn't able to do it.
A skirmish coming in from up north here, but gonna try and see if Meteor can survive this. It seems like that is not the
Riddle
case.
Order still chilling at
Already
the
down to no armor, just the red health, and Vortex Wolf starting to roll in. Meteor
IMC.
eliminated 14 squads left. They gain a bit of space, but they are still not in the zone. But the Chaoson is going to go down. Here comes Mo's going to try and see if they can get a cleanup on the high ground. Nade's going to come in. They do have the Rolling Thunder, but I don't think they're going to...
That 14 squads still left, man. And where it's this thing's pulling at down more so towards this devastated coast, they're pulling away from some of the buildings that are on that, I guess, what is that, western side of devastated coast? So there are going to be some teams that are going to have to pull their way out. Nice nade.
Cracking his team over and over and over.
Just
And
being a
Vortex
nuisance,
Wolf
dog.
Having such a difficult time
You
at
know,
the moment.
Vortex
They have to
Wolf
spend
is
so much shield batteries,
cursing
so
under
much
their
shield
breath a
in
little
order
bit.
to try and make sure that they stay in the game, not eliminated this early.
Moses want to make
because
sure that they
when
don't
you
allow this team that's at
consistently
North Pad to
the
rotate in
lower
behind them.
bracket of the groups, it's not going to be easy for you.
What's that
as
wingman? You just
play
get so
less-
many
as you
bullets
have
in it
less-
now. Now
less
it's in
and
the
less
craft,
matches
or
to
now it's
play.
in the
There's a Crowley.
Yep. Mo's
Package.
trying to hold this high ground against Vortex Wolf at this very moment. And Vortex Wolf somehow actually recovered from all those...
No, I
nades that
think
were
Digis
thrown
are still
by
in
the side of
Crafter.
Mo's. And what I actually thought from the side of Mo's, they actually could have just let Chico throw some of those nades, or at least get that Horizon go all the way up to red. But Vortex Wolf just trying to use those Bangalore smokes. to
No, they
achieve
did
very
take Digis out of the crafter, right?
try and see if they
I'll have to double check that.
Crypto drone also watching
They
their
might have
spot,
actually
but here comes the power of the Valkyrie, and they are out. But are they going to land safe? That is the question.
One way to find out is... Utah drops in front of Utah.
Bro, I was like, hey, I'll take that KP though.
1 KP for the solo, but
Landed right in front of the solo rat.
got
That's a big old
spotted.
feels
Bro is
bad,
now
bro.
getting looted. Ty sadly eliminated 13 squads remaining. 34 more players in the lobby. Lots of solos, lots of duos, but oh, Northeption, what is happening over here? They seem to be a bit off position. Even the crafter still had a spare shield battery on it.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't think it's a bad idea. Honestly, I think if you go to like 0.2 aim assist, 0.3 aim assist, you're all right.
Yucapero's also running that Watson, and so is the other team, but I don't know about the Northeption. You're basically out in the open, and Yucapero, first one down for their side, and Razy might be up next. Yucapero's already lost for the late game, but Razy's trying his
I haven't gotten to see too many of these end games play out on the south side of the map since the changes on Stormpoint.
It's not gonna matter. Northeption pretty much in the open as soon as they try to rotate.
Northeption's gonna be out in 9th.
Side, and Vortex Wolf still
They had a good amount of KP though.
Meanwhile,
They're still sitting at 7
North
points.
Strong, still really strong. Triple red. A random catalyst while over here, and they seem to be fighting Enter 4 Street. Enter Force 36.
I think Enter Force 36 is another land team, if I'm not mistaken, from the region last year.
Is not enough.
Oh my god, that's the Bolt in its full power, but the other SMGs are also starting to ramp up as well. That's
Right?
the first kill, but they're gonna have to pop the red doors with no armor, but the Catalyst is helping with the delay on these doors. Stars. It's gonna matter.
Getting
Eight
nades spammed. And seems to be Moz. From what happened earlier, they do have a really insane number of nades.
Yeah, box of blue. Boxes are
Damn.
That though, with the swing, good kills. Their Enter Force 36 are out, but Vortex Wolf.
I was gonna say, but are they gonna be able to rotate in here? Because they got a ways to go.
Being down, they are still farming all these bodies at the very moment. Bose is eliminated by Vortex Wolf. And Vortex Wolf, despite being a duo, still doing a lot
Still
of
putting
damage
in work,
this lobby,
man.
as we only have 6 squads left in this circle.
Oh, let it sing.
But sadly, right after picking up a Kraber, immediately goes down. Now,
Not
it's
gonna have
play
time to pick him up
outside's
either.
turn
Vortex
to
Wolf's
make a
gonna go out in
play.
6th.
They're running triple purples. 5 squads remaining. This is your top 5. We have Play Outside. We have SBI Esports. We have Area 310. We have How. And finally, we have Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon waiting for the perfect opportunity this entire time to enter these fights, but SBI.
I see. I
Esports
think
is
Crazy
already
Raccoon
down, and now
lands
we have
down
the
this
top
way,
4
don't they?
in the lobby. And still, we are seeing a lot of fences, a lot of these Watsons inside these buildings, but Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why we see him having such low
ball available for that rotation, but they have to be
damage
careful
so far. I think
on
they land
who's
like launch side or
inside.
something like that, or a launch pad. Sorry.
They're just gonna stay here until the round 6 closing and let the other teams just kind of fight it out here.
I think
Y'all would
Space
get
and How
slapped.
is
Don't
zone
try and lie.
is
Don't
about
cap.
10.
Ooh, area
We-
310.
Exactly, Sneaky. Exactly. We might be seeing an Area 310 win from this angle. They have pretty good armors. They have a Callus. They have a Bangalore. They have a Bloodhound. They have it all. Look at their weapon loadouts as well. It's perfect for an endgame encounter. Meanwhile, the other teams, though, also looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure that none of these teams who has been here since the start of the game, we've seen a lot of them going into zone really, really early on. I think most of them are running pretty good on resources, except probably Crazy Raccoon with Jusna still on the blues. They need to get a swap possibly.
Man,
in
let
the
Ducky
endgame,
live his
otherwise
life. You know that
blue's
man's
gonna
probably
get
on the road
shredded
while he's
almost
typing.
Immediately, we've seen most of these players running the car SMG, the ball SMG, but oh, what is this play?
That's a risky
About
cue.
This one, Crazy Raccoon might not be the best idea. You might have to go down into the low ground again as Jung-hee, the last one left alive, the sole catalyst of Crazy Raccoon. The only one surviving for their team, but I would have wanted them to at least maybe use
The spot for Area 310 so clutch. The only problem is when they drop, they're all going to be stunned and they're going to be in front of a couple of teams.
This team in the high ground does not have Watson. They do not have the generator as an option. So play outside.
Yeah,
they
see?
do have one chance.
Tina
to
Tina
actually
doesn't know what LAN
try to
is.
Get them off of that high ground, and it is in the hands of Watage here.
And it seems that Play Outside also has the only conduit in the lobby, our latest added legend to Apex Legends, and we'll see if that will make any difference. Meanwhile, Jung-hee trying his best to survive. Play Outside still looting, but they are getting shot at all the way from behind.
Oh, I love that Watage is actually.
See,
holding
because
the
here
rolling
soon,
thunder here.
310's going to have to
Waiting
drop
for
down.
Area 310 to go for that drop eventually, or at least try and see if they can get half of.
Crazy
the
Raccoon will
high ground
probably
by the
be
zone
out
and
by
try and
then.
slow that
Going
team.
down.
And here comes the rolling thunder that I was
Nah,
talking about.
310's
The
good.
Watson Gen at the top of this spot, but they do have the roof on top of their head, so they can just wait that one out. And they're just looking down at all of the teams here.
Oh, man, look at all that going out. Oh, 310 has this. No? Do they? No? See, that's what I was worried about when they drop, man. You're in front of everyone.
Do some damage as much as possible, and oh my God, it might just be turned around, and it's actually
Wow.
Play Outside. Getting the
Well done,
first
but Play
win.
Outside to be able to pull that one out.
That rolling thunder
That end game was kinda wild.
breaks the position of Area 310 in that final zone, and Play Outside. Exactly. That's what they need to get that done.
You know what else is wild? We're
Like
seeing all those
outside.
catalysts
I
in the end
wasn't
game there, Moon.
expecting them to win that hard, considering the positions that the teams were taking at the final ring. But they played it extremely well, took everything to their advantage, and made sure.
Damn, they muted him? Damn. Muted the casters. It's a big old get wrecked, bruh. So here's your score. Play Outside with 10 kills on top of their 12 placement points for 22 points. 6-point lead over Area 310, who had 9 kills to go along, or sorry, 7 kills to go along with their second place finish. Vortex Wolf fragging out of their minds. got themselves 9 kills. So 4 teams in double digits. I think this Play Outside team is a new squad. In the sense of even like the players on it are newer. I think. Hold on, let me see if I can find them on yeah, it's a new squad. Like, I don't think any of the players have pro league experience, so that's kind of cool. All right. Also, I'm seeing in the chat no multi-view today. Oh, man. Conduit? We saw more Conduit in... We've seen a decent amount of Conduit in NA and EMEA, I feel like. We saw her a little bit yesterday in APAC South. Yeah, I do feel like we saw more crypto than we saw yesterday, which might be taking a couple of those spots, right? Because everyone's going to have a bang. Most people are going to have either a Watson or a Catalyst. All right, let's go to our results over here. Get scores real fast here again. Kind of looking at them. So Play Outside's got themselves a 6-point lead. A lot of the teams that we were looking at kind of in the back end of the top 10. Northeption and Crazy Raccoon. Oh, man. I need to sit down. I was kind of feeling good about standing up earlier, but... I think if I continue feeling this decent, though, I do think I'm going to hit the gym after APAC-North. This week we can get away with it because there's only one session. I think starting next week, though, I might have to move to a 5-day workout schedule instead of a 6. Just fully take off Saturdays and Sundays. At least maybe until the break where ALGS is off. Those couple weeks maybe. I don't know. Woo! We got game 2 coming up here shortly. I wonder if we'll see some of those teams we're expecting to kind of be towards the top bounce back here. Teams like Northeption. Ooh, also, let me see if Wikipedia is updating yet. Sometimes Wikipedia takes a couple of games to start getting updated, and then they stay on top of it. I'll tell you what, man. Sometimes these breaks in between seem so much longer than they are. Fuck yeah, it's cold outside, Ducky. It's the Northeast and it's wintertime, big dog. I am not a big snow fan. I can get on board that soon. I don't know if I'd say I hate snow. Like it at like 35 degrees? Nah. I am a, like a 60s, 70s guy kind of guy when it comes to temperature. You can keep that 35 shit. Moon, I feel you, man. I woke up this morning. I knew I had to clean it out or clean out the walkway and car. Oh, fuck, bro. I don't do that shit. Who do I look like?
Okay, and now we are back. Hello, everybody. I'm Rexa Lily, and we're going to do a short recap of what just happened in match number 1, just as we're waiting for match number 2 to start. Again, we started at Storm Point.
All right.
And it feels like what I predicted to be a fish farms end zone just from, out of pure love for the POI that has since been destroyed ended up coming true.
Bro, we can't hear homie at all, dog. Also, chat, I do think I'm going to sit down, man.
Mm-hmm.
My legs are tired. Man, you know what? Shut up, Ducky. Ugh. I didn't say no one told me to stand up. The fuck? Push through the pain? Nah, I'm good. I'm Gucci. Getting old, dog. This cold be messing with my joints. All right, here we go. Game number 2.
All right. Heading straight into game number 2 of the ALGS APAC-North Split 1. It's already game number 2, guys. And yeah, it's been pretty spicy so far, you know, just as expected here from APAC-North. A whole lot of circle teams, that is for sure. Whole lot of teams playing within that zone, within that safety. So, you know, yeah, we're going to see a lot of that, just like what we saw earlier.
Oh, so the Kogolobi and Meteor are both contesting for Cascade Falls. I guess that's the one contest we have.
But not all Valcolts are actually made it into the zone itself. So some of these teams really do have to be careful. But yeah, I mean, same old drops for everyone. Just like we said at the start of the broadcast, guys, there is no contests in this entire 6 maps, actually.
You're right about that, Sneaky. Not really a lot of action going on at the very early game, just like what we've seen from the first match of the day. And is this a Gibby, Rampart, and Valkyrie composition? I haven't seen that in a very long time, actually. And surprisingly, after the beacon bug got fixed, Valkyrie.
I feel like it's hard right now to tell if where I have the broadcast volume is good, because I still feel like the casters are under the actual sound of the game. So when stuff starts popping off,
for these teams,
I feel like it's still gonna be really loud.
I'm not sure if passive is the right word to describe how some of the teams are playing, but they're not exactly aggressively playing either.
For sure.
But it's not too passive, so I'm not exactly sure what word to describe how the teams is playing. But I think it's more.
I feel like this is the region that I know like the
cautious.
least about.
It's not the same as passive. I think I would like to describe their gameplay as cautious, where they're really careful about the type of information that they utilize. And
Shut
aside
the
from that,
fuck up.
they're trying to not also pick really early fights, but it seems that an early fight is happening right
Moon's
now.
like, take a stand
Getting shredded.
and say what's on your
Albedo
mind.
trying
Speak.
his best to refrag, but can't really see the enemy. 30 shots not landing. Albedo himself gets cracked.
Oh, Reject's
And
in
they're
trouble
going
here.
against Meteor.
Yep, good shots from the side of Meteor, and we were just talking about this team as well, the Val Gibby Rampart team, and let's see if this comp is going to be effective in this specific fight. But Reject, they're just trying to see if they can gain this rock, maybe get some cover going, shield bat up. They do have the Horizon, so they can start this fight with a single Horizon queue here, but they're going to try and see if they can just even go forward. But Meteor really shooting.
I love all the
lights
Final
out in
Fantasy
this
swords we've
situation,
seen in the
but
first week of
Roki
ALGS so
down
far,
to 1 HP,
by the way.
having to pop those cells. Meteor really taking heavy damage here from the side
I'm
of
a big
Reject,
fan.
but Reject still not deciding to pull the trigger just yet on this team. They're just looking to see if they can just walk past him, but it's pretty hard so far.
Actually, I read about that, Sneaky. It seems that Reject is just deciding to ignore the team, trying their best to survive and just rotate into zone. I think, like what I said earlier, these teams not exactly playing passively, not exactly playing aggressively. They're just playing really cautious. And I'm not
Chat,
sure
what do
if this
you
is
guys
unique
think
to
when we get
APAC-North
to
based on what we're watching right now?
next
or
weekend and
maybe this is
future
just
weekends
how
where both
teams
ALGS
in
and
competitive Apex in Pro League are
RLCS
preparing
are
to
going
play.
on?
Because usually
Do we just
I
try
was-
and catch
I was
like
expecting
end
this
games
much
for
team
ALGS
making it to the
and then
final
rotate around the
rounds of the game
RLCS
as
games from
the
there? Or
zone
what do we
starts
think?
closing in, but but it seems to be not happening, where we've seen a lot of solos, a lot of duos trying their best to survive at the very end.
You don't think
And-
that's kind of a good
Oh,
start
I
sometimes?
get it now. We don't have a seer meta.
True.
That might be explaining why these teams seem to be playing really cautiously, because while most of them do have a crypto such as how, they don't exactly have that perfect information.
Yeah, I'm glad the
Once you
Seer
deploy
meta
your
is
crypto
over.
drone, you're exposed
Bro,
to
remember when
get-
they buffed Seer?
There you
Oh,
go. You're exposed to a lot of things, and it's not exactly easy to manage a fight without that perfect information. Meanwhile, Watagashi with the rampage.
Charged up as well, so he was doing a lot of damage to the
I know
team
that
on the
there's like a
background.
bunch
That
of
is
Bangalore
Reject
smoke right now.
really just trying to survive as much as possible. I think they're
But I feel like the
finding
meta at the
progress
current
between
moment
these two teams.
is in a
Sanju
decent
is
spot.
trying
Thoughts,
to
chat?
Get some poke damage in with that 3x on that 30-30, but Reject's gonna stay here for now. I think they do have a game plan staying in this specific area. Maybe they do have maybe a circle prediction in their pocket, and
I feel like kind of seeing the healthy
here, but
other
whole lot of teams already surrounding the
um,
buildings at this very moment.
legend selections
Reject trying to see
other
if they can gain some scraps
than
from the
Bangalore
fight that
is really
they
nice.
did
Like I felt like
just
before, it was like everyone had a Valk,
Meanwhile, it seems
everyone
that we
had a
have an
Horizon,
end zone that
and then
is
like you
fully
kind of had a
equipped
flex
well
third
inside,
spot
with most of the teams
at one
seeing
point,
queue and moving
and then
into
that
it,
slowly
with
became
Northeption
Seer very
staying with the
quickly.
middle of Pylon, getting into some skirmish, I think,
So it was
with
everyone had a Seer, everyone had a Valk, and then you had the third flex
Meanwhile,
spot.
Lobby Gaming eliminated 18 squads remaining, and this is still a pretty slow start in my opinion for a Pro League game. And a G7 scout being utilized by Illy.
Yeah, I think we're kind of just used to the pace.
What, the Valk Galt
stuff
feed
they
face?
do. So I think we're just not used to, you know, respectful play as we do see here in APAC-North. But yeah, I mean, 18 squads left. It's just the kills mostly come from the teams rotating in, and the other teams is trying to see if they're out in the
Will they
open.
even be able to make it to the sky? Stay tuned.
It does work out in their favor, but yeah, it's still a whole lot of teams already within the zone, more surrounding pilots.
So this is going to end up more over towards Launchpad then.
Yeah, there's going to be a
Probably
whole
on the
lot of
outskirts
a
of one of
lot
those southern
armor
fingers.
upgrades being
Maybe the one that
chased.
ends up on the like the outskirts of the two fingers.
But seems like we're getting another southern pulling zone after match number 1. Kurihara and friends though, Fennel, staying at the side of Barometer, but I'm not exactly sure if there's a team at Barometer, with the nearest one being teams at Pylon.
Yeah, that's going to be good for them though. They can, at least
Yeah, a
gain their
late
space little
rotate.
bit.
I agree. A late rotate might actually benefit some of these teams, given how the lobby is playing. Very zone heavy. Very, I need to win this game. We need to hold this position, guys, at the very end. And it feels like a lot of the teams, such as Riddle Order, kind of struggling inside the zone. Just like what you've said, Sneaky. They've been playing this poke battle that is going to last for possibly, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Yeah, maybe just until like the circle is like closed enough, so they can go for some of these kills. But
And
I mean,
we
so
look
See
at
again,
Northeption
another
right now.
game. I
Northeption
feel like this one we saw a
trying to
little bit
poke.
more, but I think
Yeah.
part of that was the contest. We actually saw a pop off this time,
Really see the
right?
need to poke. And it's
But
not
again, a little bit
crazy
slower
how
of a
it took up
gameplay.
there to get
Big
their own
fan.
purples.
yeah, I thought it just has to AFK here. You can even alt tab and just do something else entirely.
I just realized that I didn't fix my
Job of the other members here is to just try and
camera
get
here. That's my bad.
some of those armors up as much as possible. Hopefully maybe on towards the Riddle Order side, since they do have the conduit. So
I fixed my camera over on the other app.
right back up because of those 10 shields. Meteor, getting absolutely pelted here by Mose and Meteor. Only one member strong, only one member left alive, and there.
Bad
it goes.
9-9 when
The
you can
team
get
with
that
the
thing
Rampart
whipping, bruv.
Already down in the dirt, thanks to Mose once again. Another kill for them outside of the white circle at this very moment. So they're finding a lot of these fights, but they already lost Ash. That means they don't have the catalyst available for this fight.
Oh,
Damn.
even Wyatt Chan goes down. Great bounce.
And
over
you know
there
they gonna
from
push that. It's push
Most
city, baby.
Horizon, but making sure if the team's pushing, and it feels like they have enough time for a rest. Meanwhile, Satoshi Sparks not really keen on full sending that. Instead, they're prioritizing their rotate,
Check out this area.
where they would possibly meet Vortex Wolf actually, but no, actually it's the opposite. Mose possibly meeting Vortex Wolf and on the rotate.
What's our
Kinda be a
thoughts
bit
on the
Yeah, kind of familiar territory here for Vortex.
the sound right now, chat? Like, I know it looks like the broadcast sound is still a little low. I can't do nothing about that. But it feels like with the gunshots and stuff, when it starts popping off, that's at a decent level.
They run it back, but to be
Thoughts?
fair, Moze, they only have like 2 players left alive, so it's already them
Thumbs
at
up.
the disadvantage at the start of this fight. But they do have the respawn beacon that they can pop, and it is only round 2 closing.
We like it,
so
we
the
love it.
circle doesn't hurt too much. But Vortex will still
Bro,
go for the
Tucky, I
round
swear to
just in
fuck
case that
God.
they can get some accessory kills, but Satoshi Sparks already out of the question. They'd rather just fly out, go into low ground, get some position near the green circle.
I will cut
There
you.
you have it. 17 squads remaining, 51 players in the lobby. Not really a lot of action going on, and that's mostly because these teams, based on how big Storm
I
Point
cut
is,
you
really
so bad.
prioritizing their
You
rotates,
wish
they're
I
playing
don't
by
cut
the
you
edge,
so bad,
or
Holmes.
if they're in zone, prioritizing getting those resources and robbing the other teams out of resources. Meanwhile, Satoshi Sparks spots. Is that a solo?
All right, we've
player
got.
possibly? No, it's a full 3-stack team. Area 310 just died a corner, trying to.
It looks
stay
like
low-key. I don't know if you
Wikipedia's
noticed
already
that, Sneaky, but It
updating.
feels like a lot of the teams really keen on not showing their presence. It's more
Yeah.
of they really want to rotate in a very stealthy manner that possibly gets them an advantage. But Lemon,
Oh, someone's behind them. Oh no, area 310.
ooh,
This might be the doom and gloom for your team, but here comes the bolt damage, here comes the hard
great
damage.
shots, but you
Oh,
got a trade.
is it a 1-for-1? Yes, it is, I think. Area 310 out of the question. Crazy Raccoon instead coming out on top, but here comes Techwing.
All right, here we go.
Techwing with the damage, and they do get the last member of Crazy Raccoon left alive.
Bam.
And 15 squads left. We're going to see a whole lot of this, Lily. Round 3 circle. This is where most of the action, or at least from the edge teams, does occur.
All right, chat. Just like usual, when Liquipedia is
They can
updating,
dip their toes into this fight, but Techwing's already got position.
And it feels like
if you come in here and you want to have an up-to-date
squad is
scoreboard,
about to break through.
just use exclamation point now.
Rossiful popping the Bloodhound ultimate. But playing as a refrag for the team with Revenant actually.
Moon, have I
Anaya
showed
on the
you
Revenant popping ult.
how to
I
do
guess
that, by the
is
way?
it. They're trying to sniff where the enemy team is. With Satoshi Sparks finding refuge by the rock, but the rock doesn't seem to be enough at the
So
moment.
nights that you're in here hanging out, you might be able to help your
Online.
bully.
But no bang ultimate.
I'll show you
Pimpin gonna have to back it up here. Not gonna be the best.
next time we're in. Or actually, I could probably send you.
Red health. But they were playing that God Rock, which is a good position up until, you know, Pimpin got hit by an absolute heater of a shot in his dome. But
I'll show you in between games.
still in and around the area, but Satoshi Sparks, they can maybe go for some pokes, try and attract some teams to maybe
That way Dougie can see too whenever he ends up, you
the,
know,
firepower between them and another squad, but it's
becoming a mod or
at the
whatever.
moment, as we did just say, that these squads would rather just prioritize the rotate rather than the fight, but we're already seeing in the background Vortex.
I don't want that fucking
looking for
responsibility.
some
I'm just here to play
positive
games,
towards
dog.
Moze, but Techwing just on top of the POI at this very moment.
No, I'm just saying I'll show you in between
Meanwhile,
games.
Off screen, we have Vortex Wolf.
I can't even keep it
Moze.
account.
It
True.
just feels like these two teams are
Oh
definitely
shit.
enemies.
Yeah, Moze got their revenge after that first game, and Techwing still really good position by them going into this high ground. As we do see the teams.
You're gonna be modding a new account for me every 3 months.
The Force 36, they do got some boxes to play with here, but gonna have to see if they can reset really quickly. Do get the bank smoke down, but the Valkyrie doing some damage as well. So yeah, I don't think any team is gonna bother them at this very moment. But there is a team coming in from behind, Kenotrope Gaming. Also looking to see if they
Remember,
can gain
Kenotrope went out
position
relatively
because
early in
they
last
have
round, so if they can have themselves a good
past
game
I don't
2
know,
to
2
kind
or
of bounce
3
back in the
rounds here
scoreboard,
for
be
the
dope
past,
for them.
Like 5 or 10 minutes at this point. They were here at the start of the game, and maybe this could be the end by them, but Reject was trying to hold, but they do got still have the Jenny, so they get to stay in the low ground. Kenotrope, Miak is already down. One Tappy might be right up next. They do got the scam, but Miak already down. Not the
Keep
best
who
move by them,
guessing,
as
the
they're gonna
fuck?
start to slide from the backside. One Tappy is down. Forufa might be up next. This Catalyst No armor to be found. Trying to
Just
juke out
bullet
this shot.
dancing.
But
How is Rufa alive?
Rufa.
That's such an alpha play from from KN Alpha, and trying to not get spotted.
People are watching my
After
move.
bullet
Okay.
dancing, it feels like the other team just completely don't notice him just sitting by the corner and reject Sangjin, Obli, and Karen Fe trying to
My
recover
bad, my
from
bad.
that fight, trying to get. Actually, no, trying to fortify.
Oh, they found him.
Alpha.
Needs to get out. Needs to get out immediately.
And again, he's back to bullet dancing.
Oh.
Oh. NC, nice try. 10 squads remaining. 28 more players in the lobby.
Yeah, another finish for the side of Kinotrope outside of the top 10. Not what they're looking for, especially going into game number 2 where Redemption is king. But Enterforce 36 still holding their rock here. Reject right in front of them. But the circle is about to close on their position, so they're going to have to roll on forward here. And Reject ready and roaring to go. They got their full meds, they got their full armors. Plus they have the Watson with them, but the Catwall is going to help the rotation here.
He's facts though. He don't have a main. What the fuck's a burner account if you don't have a main?
Want to fight, taking out the Watson
Tell
fences,
his
but
ass.
Force maybe looking for the wrong target here. Enter Force 36. Ely doesn't have armor immediately, and they're gonna have to file in. They're gonna have to delay as much as possible using this catwall, but they do have the batteries with them. But the scan, they know exactly where they are. The spray, Ely.
They get the high ground here and push. Good move.
Got the high ground, and now they're shooting down.
Good angles over there from Enter Force 36, but Illy
They're
goes
having
down.
problems.
The first one to go down from this fight. The Watson fences really helping.
No way.
Reject over there.
No
It's a
way.
1v1 situation. Sangjin.
No
you have what it
way
takes.
Enter
He has
Force
what it
36
takes.
loses
Enter Force
that.
36 eliminated. 8
Wow.
squads remaining. But
I mean, Reject's still gonna fall from the third party,
stop.
but
And Riddle Order is
Wow.
here to ruin his day.
Oh, Riddle Order.
Unfortunate.
The party crashers in that fight. Just getting that easy cleanup on Reject, who had 2 down players. So it is a really good reaction from their side to gain some space on the north side of this circle. But the circle, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. How? They do have that crypto, so they are seeing everything that is happening in the background. So they pop the EMP instead, and they're looking for their own fight. But but the Jenny eats the Arc Star. Satoshi Sparks already down a member in this situation. They don't want to take this fight, but How is kind of forcing their hand here. But 5CG gonna have to back it up. No HP on that man. And wow, a fight canceled because of outside sources here of that damage. It's not even the team that, it's not even Satoshi Sparks actually fighting back too much. It's the other squads.
Meanwhile, play outside over here, playing as a duo. They do have the possibility of crafting a banner, but I'm not exactly sure if that play is possible this late into the game. Irikana, though, has a Kraber, and I wonder if anyone's about to get down by it. A really strong
Yo,
weapon.
Skylar,
That
appreciate
can
the
definitely change
roses.
the sides of a fight. But since you are
7 of them
playing,
things too.
marksman weapon,
Sheesh.
you don't exactly have that close range fighting.
Ooh,
capability.
roses smell so
Ari
good.
only has a car SMG for that. Meanwhile, How discovering a bunch of people in their territory.
Oh, 5CG pops the EMP, and finally they do go down. Great timing on the Arc Star.
See, Ducky said I'm
leaving.
leaving.
Outside, they only had 2 people to work with, but the zone is closing in.
Oh,
Lily.
true.
They might be forced to res out in the open. No, they are good within these 2 rocks. Northeption is also trying to see if they can gain some space, and that they do. They are inside of the zone. They don't have to move too far forward. They still do have
Come on, Northeption.
position that they can play with, but they're also starting to poke on the right side of the circle, and How already 2 members down.
It's just gonna be a full
Only
3v3
that
at the
Valkyrie
end
left
between
alive,
Northeption
with
and
3 squads left with 8 people left alive. HAO looking like they are dead meat in the middle of
Was it Riddle Order the other
everything.
team? Yeah, Riddle Order.
And I'm guessing this is going to be a 3v3 endgame between Northeption.
Dude, the Glizzy
and
overdrive
Riddle
guy
Order, but
fucking
not
kills
really
me.
looking too good.
Oh
Keep
my
your head
god, that
down
dude
because
nailed it.
There's a Kraber in the lobby, but actually I think the Kraber wasn't even used. It was stuck in one of the net boxes from one of the earlier fights, but instead we do have a wingman on the lobby at the hands of Northeption Taida.
Yeah, and I think the team that only has 2 members left alive. I think they can only afford 1 res. Oh, yeah, 5 CG's dead. I would have wanted
Damn.
5 CG to at least be
I feel like
down
Northeption's in the
and
disadvantage here though,
alive.
because
That
he's
knockdown
gotta
seems
go
clean,
so
but
they gotta go so far. Riddle Order's got
Order's
themselves a nice little position over by the
cannon sign of the circle.
cannon,
Trying to see if they can get some poke with the 30-30 and
because they aren't gonna have to move from cover as much. Stop with the damn elephants.
That is true. With the zone slowly closing in. The
I can't
final
take the
round is
elephants.
here. And this is your top 3. We have Riddle Order, Triple Reds looking really healthy, looking really well. And we have how, unfortunately, Watagashi about to bleed out. And it's all up to right now, but the Falco
Oh,
is
he was
clear
gonna
of
try and go
2
for the
squads remaining. It's now or never.
dive.
Northeption against Riddle Order. Saku goes down first.
Saku eats
It's a big
third
EMP
one
to start
straight
things off here for
Northeption,
Northeption.
and they're just gonna
3v2
roll on
here now.
forward. Easy peasy.
Easy.
With the win, and Northeption, after that absolute beam on Saku on Riddle Order.
I told you Northeption probably gonna be bouncing back.
Great position, Riddle Order was holding.
To be fair, I did say Northeption we're gonna have the harder time.
Have it.
I didn't
Congratulations
realize
to Northeption for
they're gonna be able to
winning
open up with an
match
EMP,
number
which kind of
2
helped.
Of the APAC
It was able to,
ALGS
whoever was
Pro
able to get that
League
first knock
split
was
number
huge.
1.
To be fair. But yes, they did make me eat my words. You are correct. Thank you. I'll eat crow on that one. Big game for them. 23 points. Riddle Order with 11. So a lot of points kind of spread around there. So that's going to be big for Northeption. That might be enough to put them in the lead. Yeah, just barely in the lead over Play Outside. HAO with another decent game, because HAO was what, 3rd? Yeah, so back-to-back 3rd place finishes for HAO too. So they're doing a good job as far as their placement. Technically placement, giving them more points so far during their run. Interesting to see Crazy Raccoon still struggling down in 12th. Fennel also, a team that I would have kind of expected to be doing better. Kinotrope as well. One more trip over to Storm Point, though. Of course, we do still have plenty of Apex still to be played, right? This is week 1, Moon. Yep. This is the opening week. And this is the only week for both of the APACs where we only have 1 series. Every other week for both APAC-North and APAC-South, it's back-to-backs. So 12 games instead of 6. By the way, over on TikTok, we'll be back here in a minute. I'm going to kind of do a quick reset here in between every 2 games. So we'll be back over on TikTok here heading into game 3. But yeah, I don't think they have anything to worry about just quite yet, right? They're all right. We're going to go ahead and run a quick ad here. And then we'll try and run another one like heading into the game probably, just so, or maybe not into the game, but like in round 2 when things are kind of done with the first initial contests. And then we'll be Gucci. Let's see if Liquipedia is up to date. Oh, I said I was going to show you the thing. I will pin this in the commission. Flashbang warning, chat. So Moon, you'll see this on your side. Again, I put it in commission and I pinned it, so you can always find it pretty easily. But you just find the Liquipedia page, paste it in here. This is the part that can sometimes be annoying, is finding out like which table it is. If I remember right from the other tab, it was 8 for this one. Nope. What the fuck? All right. So our command for our scoreboard is now. Then you just copy that command and you put it in the chat. Bada bing, bada boom. It's that easy. So table meaning here, another flashbang warning. When you're on Liquipedia, the tables that they're talking about are these. So it takes that information and puts it in list form. So that also kind of gives you an idea of like where to start. So like in this case, it said that there are like 21 tables just because it has kind of, not so much round, but what table just in general. Because like it's going to have overall standings as one. But then as the season goes along, it has tables at the bottom for like legend pick rate and stuff like that. So in this case, we know that when we use this link for the days, since we're on day 1, it's probably going to be an earlier table. So that's why we were able to use like, you know, one of the earlier numbers to be able to find it. Because I've shown you Liquipedia before, yeah? If not, it's an amazing site to be able to get information for different esports. Like I know you like using VLR for Valorant. I just generally use Liquipedia because I use Liquipedia for everything. Personally. See, Moon? I told you Ducky was just want to get home and take his pants off. So chat, I think we for sure will be live tomorrow for EMEA. I still haven't figured out if we're doing NA or not. And the only reason I'm not sure if we're doing NA watch party is because I may already be working on the TLDR video. And like just adding the NA part at the end. Now, it's just my thought process behind it, Moon, is that way it's easier for me to get the video out sooner. Like if I'm working on the video, I might watch like we'll watch it in Discord. You know what I mean? It's just that allows me to already start editing the TLDR video for ALGS. Because again, I think I'm not gonna be able to do like I did for the PLQ videos and do like one for each region. I just don't have the time. Especially once we move into the following week where RLCS is starting up too.
Now we are back live from Manila. One of the many
It's Rick says, do NA, I'm playing. I mean, I'll be watching it regardless.
ALGS
I'm not 1,000% sure if we're going to be live for a watch party.
English broadcast. It is I, Rexy Lily, and I am hosting today's events.
Realistically, I know there's a good chance tomorrow that by the time, you know, 5:45 comes across, I'm going to be like, yo, if I'm watching it, I might as well do a watch party.
With Northeption
But
winning the
just
game,
know there's a chance that I might be already
getting
working on the
22
video.
points from it, and 11 kills as well. How coming in second place, 15 points with 8 eliminations. Riddle Order at third, 11 points with 2 eliminations. Reject at fourth with 8 points, 5 kills, and Moze at fifth with 7 points and 5 kills.
Yeah.
What did you think about the game earlier, Sneaky?
Kind of sad about Reject only getting fourth in that situation.
You want to take home the dub, Briggs?
Yeah,
Love to hear
the
it.
best
Love to hear it.
Out of anyone, on what circle is actually going to end up into.
Boo
And,
that man,
I'm
says
really
Moon.
impressed that HAO even got, you know, second in that game, despite being in between Riddle Order and Northeption in that final fight. But you know, just tried to live
Yo,
as much
Moon.
as possible, and you somehow.
I'm
get
just trying to
second.
think more on the
So
creative
get
side,
that
dog.
Very nice placement points for your team. Riddle Order, though, unfortunately for them, despite holding a really good position, near
Again,
cannon,
more so for
that
future
beam
weeks than this
onto
week.
Saku kind of just destroyed their chances, man. And the fact that he also had the
Because for
combo
future weeks, I'll have
absolutely crazy 3-man beam on one person.
two
What was
groups
the chance?
worth to cover from both
That is
APAC
true.
regions.
And now we are headed into.
And some
our
weeks I'll
very
have
last
2 groups
game
worth of
Storm Point.
games to break down
and
from EMEA
This will
and
be
NA
our
too.
third game of the day out of the 6 games that we will be playing for the very first match day, with Group A going against Group B.
And
now we are
ideally, I would
headed
like to get the
into-
TLDR video out like by Monday night.
At the drop
You know what I
site,
mean?
and also Iron's POV. You know, this man, he does not recognize Dead Zone. What is Dead Zone? That is non-existent to him. But we're just trying to see if any of the teams are going to run into each other. I think they probably know.
You
at
think
this
you
point
guys
that
gonna
no
for
one's
this
actually
game,
contesting,
Riggs?
So everyone can just safely loot and just try and see if they can, you know, just like what happened earlier, trying to catch the teams mid-rotation and take them out early before they do get their spot. But yeah, I mean, most of the fights actually happened in and around I mean, most of the edge fights happened at round 1 closing, and then most of the other fights happened at around round 2 or 3.
I don't know. I feel like Kinotrope's up for
I
is
guess
due for a
peaceful
game.
times, not really a lot of things happening.
Maybe they can get
but
themselves a nice northern zone.
interestingly, We have a Trident steal over there from the side of Utah.
Yeah, maybe just getting that.
Well, it's not
Wait.
too
I
northern.
mean,
At
yeah,
least
sure,
North
get
Pad's
the
gonna have to
Trident,
head a little
deny the
south.
Trident from the other team, because I was like, they have Valk, so I don't think they actually need the Trident. But I'm just thinking,
You know,
like, oh,
Moon,
yeah,
I'm not
you just deny the other
1,000%
team the
sure. To
Trident,
be
kinda
fair,
make
in the
it an
2
annoying
games, the
game
first
for
game,
them,
the
but
like
you have to be
contest,
careful,
they
though,
kind
because
of
there is
split
another
loot
team
and went
also in the
separate
area that
ways.
just realized was Shoy, and
Let's check out that area.
yeah, just this is gonna be the action, guys, for like the first 2 or 3 or so minutes in this game, because just like we said, there's no contests.
Not a lot of things happening, just peaceful times and this side.
Remember, game 1, we saw, I think it was the first 2 rings close before we saw our first team eliminated.
A lot of looting circle, kind of dragging down in towards more of the south side of the picture, going into this zone. So I would say that could be a whole lot of teams now.
I feel bad, man, because I feel like the sound is so low, but
I mean, Kintrope can start walking on down, but we are already seeing some rotations coming in. Crazy Raccoon is there. Northeption's looking for some position. Riddle Order as well, and they actually might run into Northeption if they do rotate.
Northeption, Crazy Raccoon might be fighting early. If I had to guess, this one pulls more towards Pylon or Echo HQ. As far as this zone.
Tempo. It's everything that dictates how
Looks like
the games
Pylon
will be playing
might
out
even
in
end up
Apex,
being
and it's everything that will decide who is going to win.
like
and
right
it
around
feels
there.
like Northeption, unfortunately, getting caught mid-rotate, might be forced to fight over. You're not looking too good considering they're just running a white armor.
like end
and
zone
to
sort of
lose.
deal right around those houses. We've seen that one before.
Let this G7 scout sing and maybe get that through in the process.
Yeah, dude, I
It does not
really
have
like the
anything
color
in
scheme
terms of the sights, though.
on the
So
change as far as
G7
like the
scout is
palette
gonna
in
be
the
a bit
sky
hard to hit.
for Storm Point. I think it looks really, really good.
Echelon of APAC-North, so I bet even with iron sights, they are going to be deadly accurate. But yeah, just going to be a whole lot of this going on. Northeption still trying to see if they can rotate the second balloon that they popped.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't work the first time around, maybe the second time.
Yeah, I think overall the changes on
What
Storm Point were
was that?
solid,
Was that
man.
a flyby from Riddle?
Aesthetically as well as
Oh,
like
they
the way
tried
that
to
it
fly
plays.
in, but the team was already out of. Oh yeah, they're already out. Yeah, the outbound flight was already there before.
And I
they
might be
even
wrong
came
on this
in.
zone. This may actually end up pulling more
Close
towards
call over there.
Echo HQ.
A lot of airway traffic
Instead of by
happening with
Pylon.
Valkyrie back in the meta. And Evac Tower is also now in the game. Meanwhile, as you can see in the kill feed, we have Milim taking down Northeption, Yuka, Pero.
See, because now I feel like when the guns go off, the game sounds a little bit loud. The fuck?
Yeah, I bet that Riddle Order would have really wanted this kill. That is for sure. Northeption was the team that took them out in that top 3 from that last game. That would have been at least some sweet revenge, but in the way of 310, they're going to do it for them as Northeption eliminated in the background.
Yeah, I
Kind
mean,
of,
all of the southeastern side of the map was changed,
how do the
Moon.
kids say it? They
And if
fell-
I know you haven't
they
really
fell
been
off
playing
from,
Apex much,
game
so it's
number 2, but
gonna
at least
probably
they
take
got
a
the
few
dub. They can
games to
afford, kind of losing this last game of
Yeah,
Storm Point.
after all, this is
Get
6
acquainted.
games, and as explained in explainer video, and maybe we'll see the explainer video again at the break early, later on. These teams will be competing to get as many points as they can throughout the group stages.
my
of
favorite
Pro League
comp
with the top
rigs.
20
I am a
teams
very big
based on
fan
points
of. I've
eventually
always loved the
going
Newcastle. I know it's not
into
like a
the Pro
big
League regional finals, where they will compete at match point for
fan favorite or even like player favorite, but I like the Watson Newcastle combo.
At the split 1 ALGS playoffs.
Already excited for the playoffs. Not gonna lie, a whole lot of good teams coming out of the APAC region, both in the south and the north. So it's gonna be exciting.
And I feel like if you were to throw
their
Watson
styles
Newcastle, then
actually
probably
back,
like with a
we
Bangalore.
we are casting on the APAC South Hub channel. Me and Lily are kind of used to.
We don't really see it much these
APAC
days.
South way of things. It's gonna be interesting to see how
The
the
momentum
more
is just insane, yeah.
the more cautious way.
I
of
enjoyed
things,
watching what
is
Black
played
Hand ran
against
last year
APAC
at
as
Champs
it
though
really
as
does
well. They were doing
love
what, the
to play
Watson
head-on in
Bangalore
these
Catalyst.
situations. But speaking of fighting, Meteor already popping that Rolling Thunder.
Still running the Rampart, Bangalore, and Gibby composition.
I just felt like
What
when
you
Moist
about this
ran
comp is they
the-
did not choose to remove the Bangalore, given up.
Oh,
Did
who's
they-
that?
Did they
Na-
just get landed
Newcastle,
on? Nemu, get inside
Watson,
your own white.
Like split
Meteor.
one, it was
Oh,
just
Meteor, you're gonna need to toss some thermite.
allows
here
you to
try
kind
see
of
if you
build
can
up
get
your
some
camp
delay
wherever you
going, but
want it.
Nemu's already inside, so I think it's gonna be good. But the EMP gonna pop some of these doors, and the drone gonna get some information on the inside. But Roki does have that minigun, can dish out a whole lot of damage, but is actually just gonna destroy the walls on the inside in order for the other team to not use it to their advantage. But Meteor instead.
I'm
really
excited
smart
to
play. Now they
see.
have the walls to their side instead.
I'm excited to watch what DSG
DSG
does this year. I feel like with more time now, the team's only gonna get better.
Tries to get a peek.
Ooh.
There you go, a crack.
Oh, let
Another
that
one.
massive bite like the big
Oh my
dog
God,
it is.
The bubble fights, the power of the Gibby.
But Roki unfortunately goes down in the middle of the fight, and then that Arcstar is there to finish him off.
Yeah, the wall's no longer available. That Rampart already becoming a death box. And realize Bashoy still in the room, and here comes the push coming in from the Gibby with the shotgun, but it doesn't work out in their favor. The L-Star doing absolutely everything for
Wasted
this squad,
time.
and Meteor is eliminated, and realize Bashoy.
You just gotta jump in and start
staved off
pumping.
a push
Wait a minute, hold on,
from
pause.
the side of Meteor, and once again, the squad with that Soul Rampart not really placing that high. Unfortunate, because you know the
Yeah,
map is
I
pretty
think
unique, but
Dojo is like
the
a
Echoing here.
like top 5 NA
Initial,
team.
Again, eliminated pretty early into the game.
Briggs.
15 squads remaining. Techwing though running that Revenant. Revenant players, you have representation in the ALGS Pro League, but Ibu not really looking too good.
They'll
at
be a
the
team that
moment.
I think will continue
But
to get
Anaya
better
and
as the
Russell
season
look
like
really
progresses.
healthy.
And I think they're gonna be a team that's gonna be fun to watch because they just love to push teams.
Russell is already way too far away from the rest of his team, but it doesn't seem to bother him that much.
Yeah, they're just trying to hold high ground. I mean, the amount of escape options you have as that Revenant as well just makes it easier. for you
G2
to hunt
2.0
some of these kills
Moon,
more
you're a hater.
aggressively, but you know, just gotta be careful just in case you get 3-man beam from across the map, and that is not what you want if you are a Rev. You do want to be available for these fights as much as possible, but we are already seeing some of the teams setting up to the plate. You know,
I
Crazy
still think that it's
Raccoon's already here,
crazy
310's already here,
that if
everyone's already gotten their
FaZe was
respective
going to
buildings.
stay with part of the
And
old
with
FaZe
the amount of
roster, I would
catalysts
not
in
have
this
put my
lobby,
money on them
these
staying
buildings
with
are not really easy to
the new
enter.
Snipe Down squad.
Yeah, you're right about that, Sneaky.
I would have totally
Meanwhile,
thought that
Sai,
FaZe was gonna pick up
Yusa
League of Legends.
goes down, but the Jenny is popped just right in time. But I think this is just delaying that inevitable, Sneaky.
Yeah, team on the high ground, team on the low ground, two squads staring at you. And Yuta already down in this situation. The generator has been destroyed. Here comes
here
the
comes the
black hole as well.
suckage.
Everything is being
Oh,
thrown
Crazy
in the way
Raccoon,
of
so
Sai
fucked here.
And Iron, the last one left alive, not burning to that thermite, but I think they know exactly where he is.
He's just trying to pray it out. Maybe they'll forget about me. Maybe
yes.
they'll get
Let it
pushed. Maybe they'll get
burn,
punished.
let it
But again, this is a
Gotta let it
region that likes to
burn.
play extremely cautious.
Get him outta
And
here.
there you go. Sai eliminated. 14 squads remaining.
Yeah. And unfortunate here for Ty. I mean, if they got the generator, maybe
Chance, is Ring 2's closing?
At least a spot
Oh,
that
I
they
can't
trade
run another
with,
ad
but
yet
at
over
the
on
same time,
Twitch.
two squads are staring
Rip.
at you.
Yeah, and unfortunately too, their Valkyrie.
Nah, I think LG will be
down.
fine, Moon. I
But
think you
even if
have
they
Sweet
had
now with 2
their
rollers.
Valkyrie alive, even if Yuta was still alive for that fight, I'm not sure if a Valkyrie is able to hold that.
I think
space
he's gonna be-
and
I think he's
defend
gonna
it
be A-okay.
properly and defend it well. Meanwhile, Kokulobi Gaming over here trying to be a bit sneaky.
Yeah. No doors to actually block off anything for the Catalyst, so it is only going to be the spikes.
Yeah, Moon, or not Moon. Yeah, chat, since we got a second ring closed, you shouldn't be seeing anything here. I'm gonna actually run an ad now so we don't get hit with an ad during endgame, alright?
Outside of the zone
Appreciate y'all.
because
Because y'all know.
O2, who is still trying to
Purple app thing.
look, maybe gain some position, rotating all the way from Jurassic still, but yeah, they're still gonna
There's
try
nobody at that side of the map, but of course
Wow.
player doesn't know that. Just making sure that there's nobody in their backside. We might be seeing a late entry here from O2 Esports, which I think might actually help them.
Nah, get it
considering
now while
just
second
how
ring's
fast
closing, Moon. That way
some
we
of
don't have
these
ads
teams
during
are
endgame.
rotating to the point that it's actually griefing their games.
Yeah, not gonna be good news for them, that is for sure. But O2 Esports, they're taking their sweet time, not going too far forward. I like how they're using the Bloodhound to slowly scan the area, making sure that it is safe for them to rotate inside. But the zone's already shown itself. and
Yeah,
it is
but if
in
you,
the
so we
middle
already
of
play
the
a minute and a
break
half
forward.
in between games, right?
Typically, they do have the best position at this
And
very
we
moment,
still
but
will end up getting
yeah, I
ads
think this,
towards the end of the game
focus
if we
circle's not gonna be
don't do
good for
one
any of the teams
right
on the
now.
other side of
That's
the
what I'm
mountain,
telling you.
That is for sure.
And now it's all but just a waiting game. 13 squads remaining, and it's still round 3. Quite unexpected.
Because of the time in
More
between
teams
break, then they
have
come back and then
been
they talk. Then they have the drop
playing
ship.
more aggressive.
I think
It's a bit
I think so.
Like there's too much time
Might be
for
the
us to
third
not
level,
run
but
ads
it might
according to
also
like
be the
Twitch's
more
timing
technological
thing.
aspects of competitive play where, you know, some of these teams, it's their first time in Pro League.
Yeah.
And they're just a bit nervous, want to play a bit more careful, and then they realize, oh, this is just like scrims. And they play a bit more aggressively. Meanwhile,
Newcastle.
Newcastle spotted. We know exactly.
Not
who that
enough. Nah,
Newcastle
because
is.
even a 3-minute ad break would
Exactly.
only give us
Newcastle
like
will be setting up at
25
the top of the
minutes.
plate, and it is, of
So it would
course,
literally just
realized
push it
Bushoi
closer to end game.
already getting some cover at the top of the mountain.
That's
They
why
also
I
have
only
the
do it a minute
rampart
and a
in
half
their pocket,
versus
so
doing like a 2 or
they
3
have
minutes.
so much cover at
So I
the
figured
top
that
of
way
this
at
hill,
least
plus they
at
can
that
pull
rate
this
it's like
shot drop,
it's
but Mo's
manageable,
looking to
like
see if
watching
they can
wise. You know what I mean? It's
disrupt
only 90
the
seconds.
peaceful setup here from the side of Realize Bushoi, and that's the first one down. Rampart already out of the question. There is still 2 left, but Mo is just waiting out.
Yeah, it's just 90 seconds, dog.
Seems like Mo didn't even show their presence. Actually, very dishonorable play because they're using all the advantages that they can. And you know what I like about Mo's? They really utilize their grenades extremely.
Nice play by Mo's to be able to take Realize out.
Eliminated 12 squads remaining.
Yeah, you know what the CEO said? You need a gun, nades, and armor. That is all that you need, and those nades
How you doing, Billy Goats?
really are put to good use. But Vortex Wolf also getting themselves into a situation. 30-30 gonna hit some shots, but the catwall is gonna block the entirety of his vision here, so not gonna be too much of a fight. I think they're just gonna try to recover as much as possible here, but the circle is gonna start to close, and some of these teams are gonna be very uncomfortable.
Good 30-30 shots over there from the side of Vortex Wolf, Sammy. But will it be enough to turn the
Realize,
balance of this
didn't
game?
realize. True,
Mo's,
Moon,
though,
true.
Losing their horizon. But so far, so good. They're
Most squads still
playing
putting
as
in
if they're not a
some
duo.
work. Unfortunately, though, they're a duo, so...
Chico, so early in this game is not what you want, especially for the last game of Stormpoint. Lots of teams playing catch-up here. Satuchi Sparks, charge rifle here on Pinpin. Already on that purple. Maybe he should swap with the Bloodhound, actually. Maybe he's going to try to get that armor to purple as well. But still, round 4 closing.
Who's the
is
best
very,
team?
very
In
soon, and I think
APAC-North,
that's
it's
where
kind of
most the
hard to
action is
really
gonna happen
tell.
here, Lily, as teams are
John,
now
so many
starting to
teams made
file around
like
that mountains, trying to find
roster
some
moves, so
of the
many
space
even like
within the
your
zone, maybe some
longtime
rocks in the
duos
background,
kind of
but
broke
we
up.
already see,
I
Shig
feel like
getting Wyatt Chang in the background. Moses now starting
of
to get shot at.
the
And it seems like
teams
this
that
is
were at the
Satoshi
top that
Sparks
kind of made some
here to
roster
go
changes,
in,
I
but
feel like
immediately
Pulverex,
after taking
I
a
think,
really
had the
good
best
position
moves.
for fragging, they slowly go back to their
But
earlier
they're in
position.
Group C, so they're not playing
Maybe
tonight.
They realize that the risk is possibly not worth
But I'd
it.
say
I mean,
in
after all, 12
APAC-North,
squads
like if you
remaining,
had to
still a lot
do
of
like a
players
top
in this
5,
lobby.
Yeah, they're getting absolutely shot
preseason,
from the backside, so they can't really overcommit to this.
I'd
play
probably
to try and
say
finish off the rest of the
Pulverex,
squad. So
Fnatic,
have to decide, are we
Northeption.
gonna go for the rotate or are we gonna fight Vortex Wolf? That is a decision that you have to make. If you are that team still outside of the zone. But speaking of the zone,
Crazy
Gaming
Raccoon.
still right inside of it. They can just walk on in, but they have to be
Fifth
aware
is
of the
kind of a
presence Red
toss-up.
Order, who's keeping this entire spot, even the pills outside, onto themselves.
Yeah, Fennel hasn't been looking that great during the off-season, though, Moon. They looked pretty solid last year. Maybe Riddle
I
Order?
wonder where they can possibly land. Maybe a defense line.
I'd
maybe
put in the
by
5
a small
spot.
rock, a small, unconvincing rock, but oh no, they dropped right
Oh, the
straight into a conduit ultimate. Right, not really having
Wow,
the best day ever.
HAO stuff.
5CG. Watagashi's already fallen over. HAO in an instant from a Valcult into 3 death boxes. Not the best equation for the other team, but Riddle Order.
I mean, I
who's
think
been
if you
here
think of
at
if
the
you think
start
about
of the
outside
game,
of
starting to poke on the members
Zero and
rotating
Jen
in
Burton
that
and
30-30,
Hal and
doing
Reps,
so much
most
damage, but
longtime
could be
duos
delayed
haven't
by
seen
just a bit, of
consistent
course, but he
success.
knows exactly
And at some
where
point,
this
you
team
have to
is
figure
near this
you gotta
cover.
find
But look at Meltzera melting absolutely
chemistry that
everyone with
clicks.
this 30-30. He's just in the backside of this rocket. Look at the positioning from Riddle Order. They're just so spread out, but still covering each other's bases here.
That conduit
If Riddle Order
has
can take
known
this
that
spot,
place
this is the
for so long
not game-winning spot, but they've at least got high ground taken care of for them.
The Pluto just need one shot, possibly a bit more. gave up on the Peacekeeper. Now using the flatline. Yukio
Well done.
still on blues, but thankfully they wiped Vortex Wolf.
So they've wiped the high
remaining,
ground, and then they're
60
still
more
got
players
their
in the
one
lobby.
anchor still
Yeah, but
dead
there
ass in the
is
middle of
still
zone.
Those low ground teams that you have to worry about. Satoshi Sparks, who actually prevented the
I think
rotation
Riddle Order wins
from
game 3
Vortex
here,
Wolf
chat.
earlier, now is the one suffering in the middle of the zone. They couldn't find any good spot in this situation, but at least it is going to be one more member right back up for the Sparks at this very moment. But losing Pin so early, Catalyst out of the question, that means you don't have the wall. You're going to have to just rotate out.
Yeah, because now they've taken out Coco Lobby.
Coco Lobby Gaming eliminated. This is your top 5.
Now
We
they're
have
going to move in on this
Riddle
squad
Order.
that's right across
You
the
have
way here.
Satoshi Sparks. You have Crazy Raccoon. You have Play Outside. And not last but not least, Area 310. Mitarashi
Final
though,
5
with
here.
the entry cap wall, trying to zone out and cut the playing field into 2.
Oh, and there's already a team right behind them, so the catwall is actually perfect. Or is it? Or is it actually perfect? Riddle with a clue of what is happening in towards their backside. Meltzera with some very nice shots on that vault. He also has the bow check in his pocket just in case, but he is getting pushed.
I just
But an
realized
amount
that
of
I never
damage is already
updated the
done.
scores heading into
Everyone
game
is
3, chat, my bad.
absolutely wounded inside of this POI, but Crazy Raccoon is also having their own troubles within their spot.
All right.
He's stunned from that Bangalore ultimate, but they do have a really good head glitch here.
Riddle Order,
They can
I
just
think,
play
wins
entire
this.
situation to themselves, but the nades are going to start to come in. Just now, nice damage from the car. G7 Scout in his pocket. Really nice spray from Justna. Millen's going to go down. Area 310, you're going to lose a member. And oh no, it's only
maybe
11
not.
left in the corner. Only a knockdown shield.
Crazy
blocking
Raccoon's
him
in a
and
pretty
Crazy
solid
Raccoon.
spot, too.
Trying to stay low.
Only problem is Crazy Raccoon is going to have to move off that high ground. Area 310 out in 4th.
And now top 3.
Oh, not the best swap there from Justna. On towards that blue. Satoshi Sparks still in the background trying to play for second here. Exactly how HAO played in that last game as well, but Crazy Raccoon.
Oh, I don't
it's gonna
know.
be
Crazy
them and
Raccoon
Riddle
might end
Order
up fighting Riddle Order
that
here for
first
second.
place spot. It's whoever acts first.
Which
who's
may
whoever
actually work in
takes
favor
that
for the
first
duo.
damage in. Crazy Raccoon wanting to pile on in, catching someone in the corner, but good movement from the side of Riddle Order, not letting any of the members getting caught out very early in this situation, but yeah, everyone is still looking to prepare for this fight, but no one wants to pull the trigger just yet. They don't want to go first.
They want to play it really cautiously. It feels like we're back
I'll
to the
answer your
tempo of the early
yeah,
games of
question here
our-
in just
so
a
far,
moment, John.
What we've observed, the APAC-North Pro League games, where everyone's just really careful, despite having a lot of bloodhounds in the lobby.
All right, so
a lot
Riddle
of
Order and
cryptos,
Crazy
even
Raccoon are going to go
the
ahead and open up
return
this
of
fight.
the
This is going to
perfect
end up being a
entry
fight for
fragger,
second.
The Valkyrie.
Right here.
Most of these teams don't seem to be.
This
keen
is
on
actually kind of a
just
smart play to kind of creep
pushing
in.
everybody.
And
Instead,
they're gonna wait
waiting
until
for
they
teams to
see
make
a
mistakes,
couple
waiting
of
for their
knocks.
enemies to make a misplay,
Probably wait until you
and trying to
see
use
3
that
knocks,
to
and then they can just
towards
push in
their
and get
advantage.
clean up the
Yeah,
pieces.
Satoshi Sparks already got a good position in this low ground.
For the
They got their
Satoshi
height
Sparks, is that
covered,
Satoshi?
So
Is
that
that
means
right?
they can just stay here and they can force Crazy Raccoon and Riddle Order to start the fight. And here comes the fight start. The
Oh my
three-man
gosh,
swing
what an
onto
entry here
Saku,
from
a victim
Justna.
Of the 3-man beam once again, and
Riddle Order
Order
still
already down.
standing
Remember,
here?
they need to get
No,
one back,
Saku
so
ends up
desperately
going down.
instead, they're just gonna play for a second and take out the teams. And Tochi Sparks just trying to survive as much as possible, and they get taken out. Second
Okay.
place at least guaranteed for Riddle Order as Crazy Raccoon. They have
So it
the
is
hold
still
of the
Riddle
high
Order
ground.
versus
The
Crazy
catwall is
Raccoon
down,
here for
but does it even
the end?
matter?
But
Here
Crazy
comes the
Raccoon's in
black
such a
hole.
good
Here
spot.
comes the thermite.
Hold on.
Here comes the kill.
Stand by.
Meltzera coming in from behind, but just not trying to
Stand
fight
by.
back. Jung-hee low HP. Both low HP on the members of Crazy Raccoon.
that
They
shield
do get
swap's
the
what they
swap.
need, though.
Jung-hee back on red, but oh, not the commit just yet.
That zip line is just killing everybody. And look at that.
Oh.
Crazy Raccoon, the champion of our very last game of Storm Point.
All right, Crazy Raccoon coming out on top. They have a decent game. What, 6, 7 kills to go along with the dub? $31-point game. Wait. Wow, so Crazy Raccoon Up in first in front of Riddle Order now. No. This can't be right. I think this is wrong. This has to be wrong. Right? What if we go to the Rage stream? Those scores just don't look right. Like these top scores don't look right. But as far as your question about the meta right now, it's a pretty open meta, I would say. Everyone's running bang smokes. But after that, you see teams kind of playing to their team's strength, whether it's going, you know, a scan like a Bloodhound. We're seeing a decent amount of Watsons. Still seeing a decent amount of Horizon. Some crypto, not much crypto, very little crypto. We're seeing some conduit, probably more conduit than crypto, especially outside the APAC regions. We got a pretty open meta right now. It's not like in the past where we've had like 2 Instalock legends and then like a flex pick or anything like that. Do I think NA will follow suit? Yeah, I think NA will still see mostly bang smokes. I feel like in NA we saw more conduit than we've seen in other regions thus far. Granted, that was more so during like PLQs and stuff. I have to admit, I have not been able to keep up as much as far as like pro scrims. Just because there's a lot going on this time of year. Yeah, you got a few teams running blood. I think especially because of the fact that bang is so prevalent. I don't think blood's necessarily a bad pick. I don't think it's a pick that necessarily hinders performance over like different legends, so to speak. I don't think blood will be a like top 3 legend pick though. I still think that's gonna be saved mostly for Catalyst, Watson, Bangalore, probably those 3. Trying to see if we can find us a score here real quick. Let's see if maybe this is up to date. Yeah, these scores look more about right. So a real close race right now in APAC South at the halfway mark. So we're going to be heading to World's Edge. Riddle Order is going to be in the lead with 36 points. Crazy Raccoon and Play Outside both 1 point behind them, tied with 35. Northeption at 30. HAO at 27. Area 310 at 25. Tatuchi Sparks at 23. So 7 teams within 13 points after we're halfway through. That's pretty solid. By this time yesterday, I think we were down to like a 4-team race. So you'll love to see that. Chat, we're going to run a quick ad break over on the Purple app. And then we'll probably kind of do like we've been doing again towards the end of the second ring. just to make sure that we don't catch ads during like the main parts of the game. John, do I play Apex? I've played Apex. I'll be honest with you. With doing a lot of journalistic style content across a couple of different esports, as well as casting across a couple of different esports, I do not get to game that much these days. So for me, a game like Rocket League is kind of up my alley, because when I do get to play, sit down and play maybe for a couple hours, I can get quite a few games of Rocket League in versus Apex. Games can be anywhere from 2 to 22 minutes. Plus, I'll be honest, man, I'm getting old. My reflexes ain't what they used to be. So since I can't quite compete at the level like I used to in shooters, I tend to not play them as much. Yo, yeah, appreciate the follow over on TikTok, fam. Chat, I am going to go use the restroom here. Q break. We got 2.5 minutes till we're back from the break with the main broadcast. John, I was huge into like game battles back in the Halo 3 days. Like, I don't think I would want to know how many hours I spent on game battles back in the day. I'll be right back. Look at that, made it back in time. Back. All right. The good old 360, man. Good days.
Legends Global Series Split 1 APAC-North. Official English broadcast brought to you by...
Okay, so this scoreboard is wrong, so we're not going to even worry about watching this, at least for now. Again, this is our scoreboard at the moment. Did I play Halo 3 ODST? I did do some ODST. I mean, to be fair, when it came to like the MLG playlist, ODST was just one map. They just added Heretic. But I stopped with Reach at that time. That was when I was getting really busy with my work in the shops back then. Scoreboards are wrong, by the way.
Favorite. And yeah, everyone does love this map. And just like Stormpoint, there is no contests in this game. As I think the closest.
All right,
thing
let's
that
see
we
if
have to contest is
Liquid P is up to
Fragment
date.
East with Enterforce 36 and someone
It
at
is.
Northeption. So that's going to be interesting whether or not they do run into each other. And there's also a whole lot of teams towards the south side of the map, especially near.
So let's
the
go ahead and
dome. There's
update
actually 3
scoreboards
squads,
over
and there's one squad
on
that actually occupies
the red and
outside
purple
dome
apps.
at
Oop.
the same time, which
We're in
is gonna
game
be
4,
better.
actually, not game
And I'm
3.
actually hoping for some of the teams that didn't do too well.
You know what's interesting is that was Dome was open in APAC South too.
I don't want to be flaming too much on the stream, but they finished outside of the top 10 every game in Stormpoint, which is not the best start for one of the best teams here.
That is true, but well, different maps, different playstyles. I think
I
some of the
played with
teams
someone
might
who
still
claimed
run
to
the
be
same
sniped
comps, so
down
I
back
don't
in the
know.
day,
Most
John.
of
I
these
don't know if that was
comps are
actually
pretty
him.
Flexible, especially with a bang.
I had played with
It
Nated
can
a couple of
really
times. We got
diffuse anywhere and
queued
everywhere
together
you
in the
need.
MLG playlist.
But for some of these teams, they might be making changes. I think defensive legends are possibly a bit less viable for World's Edge.
Ooh, Anaya being loyal. Anaya's like,
Anaya
yeah, I'm
is
running.
loyal to the Revenant. Hear that, Revenant fans? You have representation. But, you know, curious enough, I was expecting the Revenant to be paired possibly with a Conduit, but that doesn't seem to be
I don't think
happening
we've
to me.
seen any Revenant Conduit, even though I feel like that's the only reason you should be running Revenant right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Just feels
At least in
like
comp.
Psycho today. They just push in to every single fight they could possibly be in. And yeah, those temp shields can really be the make or break. Yeah, it could make or break some of these fights, especially for Anaya here. But yeah, a whole lot of looting going on, guys, at the start of the game. As per usual, you know, there's no contest, so everyone is just calmly pressing E on any of the items on the ground. So yeah, just like I said, just looking.
Also,
for
chat,
some
remember
teams
we'll
to
be
just
back
rotate
tomorrow
into
for
each other.
EMEA,
And,
1 p.m.
as you
Eastern
can see, the
time.
south side occupied by quite a lot of.
And
yeah,
then
quite a lot of
probably
players
going to be
actually.
back
So
for NA.
I would say there's
Still
gonna
up
be
in
a
the
fight going
air
on between
technically
these
for
guys,
NA,
Lee
we'll
and
see,
Big
but
Mod. Fragment is also, you know, a pretty spicy place at the very moment with 2 teams kind of occupying it. And yeah, but so far pretty respectful from all of the teams here, Lily.
Indeed, Sneaky. Not a lot of things happening, but I guess this is the tempo of the games that we will be watching for the next few days of Pro League, or at least the tempo of the games that will be happening between Group A and B. Not a lot of aggression. At the same time, a lot of caution. You've seen the teams using stealth as a strategy, actually.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the term that. Shout out to Tom 9 in the chat, by the way. But
All right, 3 games on World's Edge chat. Round 1 done. Let's lock it the
a
fuck
certain term
in.
for it when you're sneaking in. Let me just look for it here real quick.
Oh, round 1's not done. Round 1's only just now closing. I lied.
Kokusen. Kokusen.
Kokuzen.
Kokusen. He's either messing with me or that is the term for it.
But that doesn't seem to be in the repository of the strategies available to the rest of the region. That doesn't seem to be a strat at
Yeah,
all.
it's more of a
Most
rat.
Most people just got ratting, but ratting is more on relying on survivability and ambush as opposed to stealth. Because with stealth, you need to, you know, keep moving.
Yep.
You need to catch the enemy team off guard.
Yep.
And there's
So it looks like
I
we
don't
got us
think
a
stealth or
southern-ish
ratting.
zone?
To be fair, I think
Possibly down
the
zone
players
or
here in
down
APAC-North
dome
did
way.
a really good job of ratting, that's for sure. I mean, prime example was HAO earlier, who actually got second placing despite being sandwiched in between 2 teams here. Almost actually from the side of Satoshi Sparks. If Riddle Order and
Down
Crazy
like
Raccoon
Dome,
actually
Lava
committed to
City.
that 3v3,
I wonder if
think
this is one that
they
actually
could've,
ends. Yo,
maybe gotten the
Ducky,
win
I will
or
cut you.
Possibly guaranteed second place, just like how HAO did, but unfortunately, Saku got triple swung and they were the target instead.
meanwhile.
yeah, round one
Are you seeing what I'm saying? Is that a rate in lobby? Lemon running. Fan favorite rate. Not really that popular in comp after losing her spot to most of the newer entry fraggers. But
You don't know how you're
pretty
still
nice to see
awake?
her back in
Bro,
comp.
Yeah.
a champ.
possibly one of the main reasons why. Hey guys, I got the heirloom. I gotta play Raid today.
Yeah,
I just got
the
this fresh heirloom.
kunai, it's just extremely memorable. One of the more
Honestly,
popular
I don't
popular
hate the Wraith
popular,
pick. I feel like even in like
yeah.
I know she doesn't get played
the
much
most
in comp,
popular character
but I
in
do feel like you
Pacific.
get more value on the
Here you
micro
go, Wraith
rotates with her.
with the passive, as well as with the hitbox advantage. Getting thrown to Bangalore.
As well as
smoke.
having some survivability, obviously.
Doesn't really do anything, but you know, someone's gonna try to geyser on out of this situation and maybe try and go deeper into Dome. So judging from how the teams are actually rotating in, so yeah, it could be Dome.
And it's interesting that
Stacks,
this could potentially
type of
be a
circle
Dome
going on
ending
at
because
this very
Dome was
moment,
the
so
one POI that didn't have
yeah,
any
none of the
like
teams
buddy
will be
landing there.
rotating in E36. Gotta watch out for your Dome here, my friend. There is a team right on top of you, so just gonna play it careful. But they do have the Watson they can just set up in this building, no problem.
Oh, but there seems to be more and more people pulling into stacks at the moment. You've seen and heard teams just vaulting or evac.
It could end up finishing
flying
stacks,
into
honestly.
Stacks at the moment. How though? Still at the kind of out. in
Is
the
there a
open,
zone that
actually. Not
finishes
looking
kind of
good
in
for them
between?
at the moment after Right just gets shot at.
Dome and
walls
stacks?
fences, though, trying to
I don't think
protect
this goes
their
full dome.
position, but I'm not sure if the fences are going to.
I don't
hold
even know if
this time.
Dome ends up being part of
they
the
wanna
end game.
stay
It might
here,
actually just be full
honestly.
stacks,
Kinda
honestly.
way too out in the open. They do have a crypto though, so they will definitely have a lot of information to use. Meanwhile, Mo's again one of the teams that we've been watching just throwing nades out of nowhere. And I'm guessing they're using the same strat with Wyatt Chang having free frag grenades.
Yep. I think Chico is going to be playing a lot more careful now on that horizon, considering he's been always the first one down for his team, but to be fair, that's his role. But yeah, he's been going down a bit too quickly that his teammates cannot keep up with his pace. So needs to be, you know, maybe a bit more in tune with his team at this very moment. But little order, getting that second placing in.
Like in between the two, I thought
And
so.
If they can get the dub this time, already getting a position within this dome. I'm trying to guess where the circle is going. I don't think it's going dome here, Lily.
Nope, definitely not.
Because kinda where it's
half of
touching
the
here.
POI already outside of the inner circle.
Right,
I
like
think
where
it's
it's
leaning more
touching
towards the stack sides, or probably
here,
it'll pull
Makes me think it doesn't
towards
full send
the
stacks.
backside of Lava Siphon, actually. Meanwhile, Fennel, Kurihara, and Momon with two purples, looking pretty good.
I think
in
it
the
actually
mid
ends up in
situation.
between the
Good
two.
Scan over there from the side of Momon, but Pinota still on white. They're
Oh.
Bangalore. But I think most of these teams in APAC
Moon
North
said
are
he was
actually
looking for
using
Fennel to pop
Bangalore
off.
as a refrag or perhaps an anchor, and instead using their catalyst as a fragger.
Oh, I guess Moon was just saying Fennel is
With
top
the
5. Never
controller
mind.
players running on the catalyst, kind of crazy to see. Meanwhile, Anaya, our loyal Revenant player,
1 HP. Does he have his ult though? Yes, he does.
He
I
does
mean,
have
Still
it.
at 20
Oh.
squads
He's
left.
but it's gonna be a bit
59
trouble.
players.
Oh, I don't think he does.
I don't think
alive.
he needs it though. It's only one last guy.
Yeah, look
Looks
at
like
that.
Tech Wing's gonna push here at
Guy's
Big
already
Mod.
hunting for that last kill, jumping in.
You think Moon
Oh,
fell
there you
asleep?
go.
There's a good
Anaya, here's
chance.
the shield battery
Nah,
being
Moon's a
pumped
night owl,
to
dog.
you, ready to fight. But can he really salvage this? He is on blue. He does have a 30-30 and a havoc rifle.
Oh my god. Oh, hold your breath to you.
Oh, good beams.
The Havoc rifle, it does shred. Oh, say hello to my little friend.
Moon
And
just
there
probably
we
stepped
go.
away. He did that to
Getting
me in Discord earlier.
O2 Esports out of Big Mod, and now they own the area. Vortex Wolf also in very close proximity, but they don't want to really kind of poke the bear this early, especially in Big Mod. But 19 squads still left. A whole lot of teams still outside of zone trying to gain some information. The amount of crypto drones actually flying in this circle.
All right, chat. 4 zone starts closing in. We're gonna do one more ad over on the purple app so we don't get anything in endgame.
So much perfect information, but I wonder if that is enough. Because
Blame
right
Twitter.
now we see
Or
Tech
blame
Wing
Twitch.
again trying to take good positions because there's another enemy team going into their territory, and it's Vortex Wolf.
Yeah. And I think Alchason actually yoinked the golden helmet from the death box, and now is just, all right, I already got what I wanted, guys, so might as well just pull on out of this fight. And especially the golden helmet is so important for this catalyst. You just have your abilities up, plus that wall is going to be up earlier for your team. So Vortex Wolf gonna have a really good time, at least in their spot for now. But TechWing is gonna look for possibly a push going in towards the left side. They do have a Revenant ultimate, so they can maybe force a fight here, but they don't have the conduit.
He wouldn't believe it. He knows I would never.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Crazy Raccoon, what is this? I think this is exactly what we were talking about earlier, Sneaky. The strategy known to all of Apex player kind. Ratting.
When in doubt, rat it out,
with
baby.
The Pylons, Jisna, and Dogma on the blues. Also by the ledge side. They are very prepared for a quote-unquote fight.
Yeah, and Kinotrope runs into that building as well. That is another outside of the top 10 placing for them, which is what they don't want. So they're
He
just
said, yeah,
now.
okay, bud. He
Make sure
knows.
you don't
He knows.
investigate too much, because curiosity kills the cat. But yeah, everyone's just holding their respective buildings once again, guys. It is only round 2 closing. Pretty peaceful times for APAC, and at the moment, with the exception of the right side of the circle. And this is what we said: TechWing has to fight this team, and that they do roll forward. TechWing 2 down already. Even the Revenant is out of the question.
Damn.
And really good shot from the side of Vortex Wolf.
TechWing out
No
19.
word, they only lose Sammy in the process. He's gonna get right back up, but here comes a third party coming in from Meteor, looking to upgrade their armors.
Vortex
looking
Wolf need to kind of start
upgrade
upping the
their
pace
loot,
here
but
on
they're
Storm
already
Point if they
getting
want
sprayed.
to
From the backside,
Oh,
Nemu
no.
is down. Wow.
closing this gap. Well,
Really
from where
good
they're at, they're like
defense from
7th,
the
I
side,
think.
Or not really a defense, they're just getting shot from the side instead. Kuma, the only one left alive for his squad, getting shot by the Satoshi Sparks. But he's gonna live for now, but Satoshi Sparks, at least they gained position and cleared their backside. But Vortex Wolf, they're still here. But it's only one, it's only Kuma though.
Kuma trying to stay lurky. Maybe the enemy team won't spot him. Maybe he can pretend that he's dead, and indeed it worked!
Ooh. Wait, he can get the finish. Maybe he can. Slide, Volt. Oh, he could not get that final damage,
Damn.
and finally he does. Roki going down, possibly the finish incoming.
It's a thirst for thirst. That is happening. But oh, not thirsted yet.
He says, "You
Knockdown
kill my
shot
homie?
Working
Here,
towards their
eat this."
favor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's got a Gibby. I don't think the knockdown shield is going to be enough to block that man, but Kurotan still, bubble is going to go out. He could go for a bubble res here, maybe to try and bait this final player to go outside the res.
Mind games. Mind games is happening right now, Sneaky. Good angle, but the shield, the bubble, enough is enough. Kurotan, great
Got him.
finish on Vortex 12, 17 squads remaining. And the nearby team, still quite a bit far, not really looking to push. I don't think they have really good information on what is happening.
Is Gibby back,
All
Chad?
they know that there's a team there.
Gibby
they were
met us?
fighting, and somebody got eliminated.
Returning?
And that is it.
Yeah,
Smiles?
I'm actually surprised that Satoshi Sparks did not opt in to scan left here to try and see if they can maybe get something in terms of the KP, in terms of the points, but I don't think they want to get involved in that situation as Ty gets eliminated in the background. 16 squads left, still a whole lot of fighting incoming, but still a whole lot of teams just holding their position. It is a stacked circle, so everyone has their spot. Really does depend if you're just holding the right building here.
Indeed, Sneaky. And now we have a look over at the map view. But seems like there's chaos happening over here at the side of Crazy Raccoon.
I want to see where this zone ends up going.
Raccoon, Miak's already gone. Kinotrope once again. And oh no, Alpha, the last one left alive. Once again, Kinotrope facing another outside of the top 10 finish. And this is not what they want. Crazy Raccoon already losing Dogma, but there is a respawn beacon
Crazy
right in
Raccoon
front of
playing
them.
as a
However,
duo.
there is
They
a
do
team
have their team's
rolling up the
banner,
hill
though.
as well, so they have to look on their behind.
I
just
think there's
in
like
case,
3
but here comes
squads
Crazy
around that
Raccoon. They
respawn,
finally
though.
spot the team right behind them, and it's only actually going to be Alpha.
Kinotrope's one of them, though, and there
Since
is
it's too
solo.
noisy from the backside of this tunnel.
Could actually push
Here
him away
comes the
from this.
peak. 310, just really the area of denial that they're doing with this. Watson is really doing wonders in area 310. They got the armor swap, they got the entirety of the tunnel, and they have one more team to fight for. And because of their position, they might even be able to gatekeep Crazy Raccoon because they're either forced to go.
Yeah, but
right
Crazy
here,
Raccoon
out
doesn't
the
need to
open,
go
east to the
through
tunnel.
this
That's a pretty good play.
cave
from
here.
Crazy
They can get the
Raccoon, taking
respawn.
advantage of that
You have your
very
stuff,
few seconds
and they
of
can just
chaos
literally
in order
rotate
to
down the
get
south side of the zone.
Dogma back into the game. That was pretty fast, actually. They were just chasing a solo. Solo was trying to recover. Solo gets killed. One squad eliminated, and then suddenly they have their teammate back.
Yeah, I think Area 310 was aware of that situation.
'Cause they can literally
They were actually
rotate.
shooting at the team, but I think they couldn't. They have
Straight
their
down.
hands tied behind their back. They have to focus on this rotate going outside of this tunnel. So they really don't want to get too involved in these fights in Area 310. They're starting to scout out what spot can they play here on the outside.
I think that's one of the downsides of having to play one of the more aggressive. I think
Enter
that's
Force
the
36 has
downside of
had a
having to play
relatively
one of the
quiet day
more
so far.
information-heavy
They were
team
able to
logs
rotate
that
the zone here
they have all
early.
these information, but
Feels
with
like with
that,
them sitting at
that
14
extra
points,
information, decision-making is going to take
they
longer,
relieve a lot
and
of
that is
pressure
why
off
I think
themselves if they'd be able to pick up some KP along the way to a top 3 finish here.
They were ahead of the game, while we saw some teams really hesitating on the decision-making, not really so sure about what they want to happen.
Yeah, and Enter Force 36 having to play carefully here. Kokolobi at the bottom side of their building, and there is also 2 squads right outside. So they don't want to at least get this fight started outside. They want to keep it in the building itself.
Crazy
But you can see
Raccoon's gonna push in
Raccoon
here and try and
general
take some
vicinity as
real
well,
estate.
looking to maybe bait into one of these teams.
Yeah, this is ending on that hill though.
But it's not happening just yet.
Good
Area
call,
310
Ducky.
finally out of the tunnel, but not out of danger just yet. There is still teams holding onto that high ground at this very moment.
What is this? I think coexistence is the name of the game at the moment. So many teams are just coexisting with some of them finishing each other. What is happening? Are we seeing the return of streamer building? Except it's a building in stacks now.
Well, Meteor's eliminated. Play outside, looking to play inside this time. Very nice shots here from Tanpopo on that Prowler, and they finally do get the down. And oh
Play
my
outside
word,
with that good
the
old
kills are flying all over the place. The res is not
Stacking
gonna
the
happen.
ring
abbreviation that
damage.
Moon loves.
Watage, nice medkit. The zipline is really helping these teams just coexist and maybe survive a wee bit longer. They're using ring damage to their advantage.
Kokolobi doing a good
Northeption
job of
is
staying
out,
alive though.
SBI
Maybe
Esports is
potentially
out.
get an extra
8
placement
squads
point. What do they got to
remaining.
get to,
Oh
6th?
my god,
Yeah.
the teams are falling like flies in this circle. HAO is also eliminated. Play outside, fresh from that last fight, looking for Enter Force 36 in this building. But Enter Force 36 doing such a great job of just staying inside. Don't want to get too involved in any of these fights. But at the moment, play outside. They do have control of the situation. But still, they have to worry about high ground just in case. But oh, Enter Force 36. They have other plans. They're just
What
going
a
to swing
play
instead.
here from
Can they get the
36.
kills in time? They do get some damage. Illy already on 1 HP.
3v2
gets
here.
some damage in with the R9, but eventually goes down. Conduit's going to get finished off. Enter Force 36. Illy is already down, but it is actually a bait all this time.
Nah.
They just want them to be stuck in the building, but
Damn.
instead, Enter Force 36 goes down first and then play outside. Oh, play outside actually gets 6th in that situation. Area 310 still on the high ground. Still, Lemon already popping that.
Yeah, kind of where you were
portal
talking about,
to get
Duck.
into this God Rock Area 310, trying to punish the teams going for the rotate. Defenses.
See, told you it wasn't going to go all the way to stacks.
Possible, but still,
Good call, Q.
pretty open position from their side.
With our
But
powers
there's
combined.
only 2 people left alive, so this is going to be an easy clear for Area 310. They can just play this one safe.
Oh, Lemon with the rate. Now in the top 5, top 4 actually.
Kokolobi gonna be out
eliminated.
5th.
4 squads remaining. We have Reject. We have Riddle Order.
So this is all of
and
our
we
like
have,
bottom
course,
of the
Fennel.
leaderboard here.
Fennel way out of the fight now. Riddle Order.
No, I guess Area
losing
310
one.
was a
Meltzer
6th.
With the wall bounce, isn't enough.
Oh, barely survives. Does get
Oh, Riddle Order's still alive.
that accessory.
Leeching
heal.
off some other teams. Watson Jenny.
The generator is going right back up. But it is only a napkin though, so that means it's not going to be that much in the way of preventing that damage
Huh.
from killing this man.
Rocking the
Fennel
white tee, huh?
safely
Solo Dolo.
inside of this cart. They don't want to go outside just yet. Area 310 though, it's looking like them who actually
The
controls
good news is
entire
Reject and
situation
Fennel
of
might
this
fight one
final
another. They
circle.
just had to worry
So
about
they're
being
gonna
found
try
by
and see if they can
310.
reduce some of the numbers here. And that's the right choice to do so. If you fight the team on the inside and you successfully
Riddle
do it,
Order, B1
that
with
is
the
basically
rock,
your zone to
B1
play.
with the rock.
After all, we still have 2 teams that are of a full tree, a duo, and of course, we have our solo. No,
Isn't
I
that
think
one
it's
dude
really
like
more
literally
than
right on
where
top
they
of the
currently
solo?
Are at the moment.
I'm pretty
I
sure
do
Lemon's
believe
right on
that
top of the
Reject
solo.
Is possibly the best possible position. Is they just need to fight Fennel. And I think that they're working on that at the moment. Meanwhile, Area 310 quite out in the open, but they do have a lot of space to themselves.
Yeah, and Reject has the
No.
option to swing on late in this circle. They do have a bit of space to work with here in the dome, so they're going to have to hope that the team within the card fights first before
Melster's just sitting out in the open, basically. Shut the front door.
Spotted, just hiding this entire time. Area 310, they are aware of the presence of Fennel inside of that car, and they do want to collect that KP, and that they do. They finally go outside. Here comes the damage. Lemon with some good shots on the Nemesis as Kurihara goes down. But still, there's a team inside that dome, so they cannot go right. Fennel has no choice but to play that knockdown shield. Area 310 trying to get that finish.
He's on the other side, on the inside of dome. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Meltsera still alive. Top 4. Anything can happen. And Reject is here with the late entry.
This is exactly
He's going to be able to be behind Reject.
The late swing.
Shut up.
And a bit of circle damage doesn't matter. They have full HP on everything. Obviously on 1 HP though.
Does Melstrip find a way to pull this off?
They have the high ground. Fennel is eliminated, but are they aware of the low ground players?
No.
Reject with the late
Is able
swing
to rat his way
with
to
the
second though.
patience from
That's
this
big for
team.
Riddle Order. It's a big 9 placement points.
Pretty much it. They get the dub. in the
Remember, Riddle
first
Order came
close
into
entrance.
game number 3 only up by 1 point. And Crazy Raccoon and POS both went out somewhat early. Damn. So now's when we're going to lose sound. I think that's even still wrong. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, here's our scoreboard chat. Yo, Ducky. Have a good night, fam. Appreciate you coming through and hanging out. So Riddle Order is going to be in the lead at 46 after 4. Play outside behind them by 5. 7 teams within 15 points. Remember, you get 12 points for a first place finish. So you still have quite a few teams who could be within that striking distance heading into our second to last game over on World's Edge. Bro, this boy Max is snoring behind me on the cat tree. All right, we got 7 minutes. So we're back. TikTok. I'm going to take a quick refresh break to give TikTok Studio a little second. So I'll be back live for the last 2 games here momentarily. Let's see if Liquipedia is up to date quite yet. Does look like it is, so we'll go ahead and pop updated scoreboards in both YouTube as well as Twitch. It's actually going to be game 5 instead of game 4, but y'all will be all right with that. All right, chat. I'm gonna go restroom real quick. Go ahead and run a quick ad as well. Make sure we're still good as far as this stuff. I'll be right back. All right, we got 2 games left, chat. We're gonna be back from break here in a minute. What the shit on my foot? Fucking hurt. Who won the NFL game today, chat? Let me look that up. I think I saw the Packers lost, right? Crazy. Wow, the Ravens pounded the Texans. My goodness.
rotating, lots of teams fighting as well at the same time.
All
I
right.
think that just
So again, this
goes
isn't
with,
the actual
the
scoreboard.
POI, or rather the circle that is.
This is the
stacked.
scoreboard.
A lot of buildings, so lots of options for these teams to kind of hide. Especially some of these teams are running that Watson. But yeah, we are now in our 5th game of today's games.
I know this is
So,
on a delay,
it's
so they
been,
probably don't have the same
gonna
as
be
that.
an
But
interesting one. Maybe we're gonna see some teams looking for some redemption here, and yeah, hopefully we do see some really good games. But you know, despite the scoreboard, you know, suggesting that some of these teams are kind of at the bottom of the barrel, I think I've seen some really good moments from the teams outside of the top 10. To be specific, with Vortex Wolf, they've been fighting really well.
Where's our second caster? Second caster? Hello?
Yep, there we go. I think we do have the lobby ready and roaring to go. 5th game of World's Edge as of today. By the way, this is the Group A versus Group B matchup that we do have. And yeah, these teams are just trying to collect as much points as possible to at least kind of bolster their lead going into the leaderboards.
All right, 2 more
Here we
games.
go, World's Edge. Same old, and just like the past 4 games, no contest. So the action will start once the circle does start closing and the teams do start rotating.
Not a lot of things happening for now. We are pretty used to the tempo of these games. Interestingly, we've seen more aggression, more action at World's Edge, and because of that aggression, a lot of teams were eliminated early on. We only saw like 4 teams at the final rank, Sneaky, if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of them were not.
I mean, the
the
ring was
trio,
the final
which is
the final
unfortunate.
zone was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Well, not in the middle of nowhere, but out in the middle of like where there's just no cover. Can't have very many teams alive in a situation like
The
that.
reality is, there's only 2 people on their team, so it is pretty hard. It's pretty easy for the teams who still have complete numbers to kind of grief them. That's why you did see Area 310 just kind of holding their spot, the entrance to the cart. So as soon as they went outside of it, the gun started singing. That is for sure. But that entire time, there was someone waiting at the other side of the wall, and that was Reject, and they were hoping for that fight to happen.
And interestingly enough, we finally get a northern pulling zone. We haven't seen that in Stormpoint, and finally we're seeing it for the first time in World's Edge. I feel
What do we
like this
think?
is
Up
going
towards
to sway
Epicenter?
Towards possibly Meteor's favor. We might be
Yeah.
seeing survey camp
All the way to
end
survey
zone.
camp, we think?
Seeing
I'm thinking
tunnels are
Epicenter.
further into circle. But you know, I'm not really the best circle predictor in the world. Pretty sure
Maybe
a lot of these
Climatizer.
teams are better circle predictors than I.
Obviously, it's still very, very early. We don't even have
Maybe
second ring
we can get
information
some
right now,
predictions
but
here in chat on where the circle will be pulling towards. But for now, we enjoy some looting and some rotating. Speaking of rotating, we already have Northeption already moving quite fast.
Yeah, Northeption looking for that early position.
I mean, they're running a Watson, Crypto, and a Bangalore. Not really the kind of comp you'd want to run if you're out in the open.
Yeah, you'd rather just stay in a single spot where the fences are at, and especially with Crypto, you know, gonna have to drone in and around. But at least, you know, Northeption, they're gonna have plenty of information going into this game. But yeah, they're just gonna keep it careful. You know, just like what we've been saying, they have been playing this one cautious, and they also do have the survey beacon, so they're just gonna scan for that circle, and it is gonna end up in survey camp. Oh, I guess we're kind of on the dot on that.
yeah,
one.
okay.
And now
It's not
Meteor,
quite,
though, not really looking to
Where
get
I
over
thought,
on
which
their
is
side.
fine.
Yeah.
Gibby Watson and a Bangalore. Seems that most of these teams really are keen on sticking with Banga. Still hard meta despite the nerfs. Doesn't seem to be really impacting how the pros and how the competitive players see her.
Yeah.
A really strong legend.
It has been, I mean, the popularity of Bangalore, you know, cannot be denied, which, you know, one of the main reasons why was to remove aim assist in the first place, which in a region like APAC where MNK is actually more dominant.
Yeah, you don't have as
you-
big of an
you
issue
still
or
see
as big of a
some
need for it.
players, you know.
But it also still
go
helps in the
for
rotate.
That roller, and especially in this game as well. I think there is some players from the side of Thai running that roller. So
Yo, King Sniper, appreciate the follow over on TikTok, fam. Hopefully you're having a fantastic
what's more important about that
Saturday or Sunday, depending on where you're at.
Smokes and Kokonobi looking to play that God Rock
Probably
early.
more than likely a Sunday.
But they
Unless
do
you're
need to
westward in
play
the,
very carefully after a look at
NA
Yakusha
region.
Still on whites with Yo 66 on blues. Meanwhile, Realize
Realize is gonna be the first team out in game number 5, chat.
Off 3-9 even squads remaining.
Dang, unlucky, honestly, from Realize Washoy. Running into the Satoshi Sparks, if I am not mistaken, so not the best way to start things off here in World.
Crazy Raccoon and Northeption next to one another. Let's see if they can actually live.
Possibly here in Kaima.
Also, look at the scans going off. One of the benefits of going into a skyward dive.
Live in peace.
Yeah, getting that free information.
Riddle order, by the way, on the back are coming in onto game number 5 off the back of 3 back-to-back second place finishes.
He's going to try and gain some position here. Maybe they're going to try and sandwich this team in the middle, or at least not allow them to play this one safe.
That's kind of crazy.
But they're not going to opt in just yet. Anaya did pop the ultimate, though, so I think they're planning on fighting this team in the middle.
Realize was in
A lot of
15th
things
with
have
9
yet to
points when they
happen.
went
We've
out
seen
here
some teams coexisting
first in
as
game
early
number
as now,
5,
despite
so
the map. Still a lot of
Realize.
space, still a lot of things that can happen.
not
But
starting
I
their
feel like
season
the
off the
edge
way that
might
they
be
would
where
like.
The action is actually going on as we pan over to Overlook.
Oh, O2 Esports.
Bro, my one
That
guy
ultimate
was tripping. You can see it.
Bangalore is also
Highlights
available.
enabled.
Those
Highlights
moves are not
enabled.
gonna
Highlights
matter
enabled.
To this blood,
My
how
boy
he
was
can see right
panicking
through them,
buttons.
But is it going to result in anything? As Reject is just trying to roll on forward, trying to get that building that is closer to zone, but I don't think that team is fully committing to taking that spot just yet. But O2 Esports, are
That's
kind of
funny.
wondering what this team is doing, so they're going to roll up right behind them. Great shots from Kotaman, but can he get the finish?
No refrag incoming, unfortunate. But Reject, though, very wounded.
Tech Wing
Guaranteed,
also
though,
has been
manages
relatively
to
quiet
recover
today. They're
Sanjun
sitting
as well.
in
Looking
17.
pretty good so far for Reject. They still have the HP advantage.
Pretty well, mostly sitting, or most of their points are off
Kotaman's initial
KP.
team not really doing anything
Going
right
out
now.
early several
The
times.
tempo has been missed. The timing is over. And feels like we're back on a standoff. Reject against O2 Esports.
Kotaman's in a really good spot, though. So if anyone swings out from their side, it is going to be pretty bad news. But instead, Kotaman does get the beam, but does not get all the bullets in. Is going to have to reload that vault, but can he get damage? Yes, he does. Kotaman does get Sang Jun, but can he get the rest of this Reject squad? O2 Esports losing this fight very quickly. Tsuyu first, not going to get the kill, and Reject, despite losing Sang Jun very early on in this fight. The rest of the
O2,
squad
man,
doing a good
again, a
job
lot of
just cleaning it up.
our teams that we've
Now
been
we
seeing
are
going out
getting
early.
into
Another
the
team that we've
season
seen
of
going out
APAC
early several times today,
15
going out early
squads
here.
left,
That's
52
O2
more
Esports.
players in the lobby,
They've been one of the
and
first
we
two
have
teams
another
knocked
really
out in 3 of the 5 games.
Yeah, zone still pretty
That's
far.
insane.
Bit of coexistence going on here in Epicenter.
I think they're one of the
You
regions.
can definitely hear the footsteps right now. What's the sun though?
PLQ teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Sami trying his best to farm with the charge rifle, but not really too successful in that endeavor.
Not a lot of options, honestly.
Yeah, they're playing at a low ground in the valleys of Epicenter. Not really.
Trying to figure out if I'm still
But
gonna
at the
have
same time,
enough juice
pretty
in me
safe
to
down
get
there,
to
unless Enter Force 36
gym
decides
after
to
this
drop down,
chat.
maybe full send the team from below,
Yeah.
Ugh.
driving from height, but
If anyone steps too far forward, that's an arc star to the face immediately. I can already see it.
for now, same old usual tempo. And
So
another
E36 is going to be the team that's sitting up on the top side here over at Epicenter. It's a good spot for them now, but they will at some point need to move. Since this thing's going up more survey camp way.
We might be looking into that, getting more information.
Vortex
in
under them,
seconds
rocking
to
2
teams.
white tees though.
Same as us, wanting to get that end zone.
And going to be in a
wanting
similar
to
situation where they need to
be
move
at
out.
That final fight. But we will see about that. Meanwhile, enter Force 36, as you heard from earlier, respawning their fallen Wraith. Did Lemon just... Was Lemon beam from the sky?
Yep, not much of a problem. Only takes like an armor's amount of damage, but
Ooh, not looking too good over here
waiting
for
for that
Lemon.
phase.
Lemon struggling,
Here we
especially
go.
because they jumped in
Lemon
with the
playing
white tee.
Wraith has Q ready. Lots of rotates happening.
Yep. Oh, Sammy finally getting to farm with the charge.
Ring 2 here, going to be closing.
It's going to go from 200 to 110. So that's a bit of progress.
As we're going to be
but still,
seeing more
there's just a
teams
lot of
rotating their
crypto
way up
action going
north.
on. Lots of people looking.
It looks
over
like
the
as
road,
for now,
looking
there's
to
only
try and see
one
if they can
single
gain
player
anything,
who's
but
knocked out other than the 2 teams.
Not much in the way.
So
of
17
fighting,
full
just a lot of
squads in a
rotation.
duo.
Indeed, you're right about that. Sneaky. Meanwhile, play outside. Irie, unfortunately, getting credit. Oh my goodness. A stray bullet almost hit Irie. That is now flesh. No shield left. And sadly, play outside.
Chat, if you're
has to
over on the
spend a
Purple
bit of
app, we're going to be
resources
running a
trying
quick
to
ad
heal.
here, all right?
They're pretty
That way
out
we
in
don't
the open. They
get
do
hit
have a
with one in
conduit,
end
though.
game.
That will definitely help with their survivability.
You know, Purple app things. They've been killing me, dog.
But yeah,
Sorry.
overall, pretty peaceful game so far.
Yeah, it's going to be more about that round 3 closing. Actually, since we still do have 18 squads left. This big of a circle. So,
So much space. Not really a lot of things happening.
yeah. I like that the...
Northeption and Crazy
at the time,
Raccoon have been
actually,
sharing
it was
these 2
Rose,
buildings next to each other.
who were playing the God
These little
Rock
snake
earlier, and
buildings.
got off of it. You don't want to play that God
For a
Rock
hot
early,
minute.
Especially that your entire backside is so vulnerable. So they're just gonna opt out of it. At least up until that round 4 circle comes. I think Moses wants to hold this one as much as possible, but Meteor is in the area. though.
HAO's right in the area, too. Remember, HAO had a nice start to their day with a couple of top 2s.
Oh, but Northeption
Sorry, a couple of top 3s. They have not finished outside the top 10, but
in the general area of Crazy.
they don't
Raccoon,
have very many KP for having
to see
as
if
many
they
high
can advantage
placements.
after that game
They've
two
kind of been
at some
relying
point,
strictly on their placement points.
But
Area Tree 10 now starting on with their rotates.
Remember, if you're
Lemon
watching on the
phasing
purple or the
into
red app, you can
picture.
always use
Guarantee
exclamation
a
point
safe
now if
lateral.
Liquipedia is
Still running.
updating,
What's
like it
this
is right now.
late
And I'll give you an
into
up-to-date
the
scoreboard
game? I
of
would
the
say
lobby
it's
that we're
early game
watching
anymore where you're still pretty safe
before
with
the
what
game that
after all the teams are
we're
still
currently
doing
watching.
with their attachments and everything.
is this the spot? Is this the spot? I'm not sure about this one, but I think they got their hands tied behind their back, forced to play that position. So they're just
Okay, so this does look like it might actually be pulling away from Survey just a
on
little
the
bit.
teams
Does
that
it
are
end
right
up pulling back
behind
down Epicenter?
But if Tide does decide to look over,
Or is this
that,
another
they
one of
can
those
see
weird, just out in the
just a pixel of any
freaking
character behind that box. They are gonna
middle
box up, that is for sure.
sort of
But here
deals.
with a bit of a late rotate, they know that Mose is in the general area, so they're gonna have to use this balloon to try and see if they can just fly around them. But the damage from the circle is already pretty heavy here.
But I think that Roki still has possibly enough time. So does Nemu and Kuroton. But kind of risky maneuver. Because the moment that they drop into a team, and the team does end up shooting them, they don't have a lot of health to bargain for their safety. Not really a lot of leverage. And they choose to drop onto Climatizer. Whereas we saw
Alright,
from
Vortex
a few
Wolf.
minutes ago that there's a team
Dropping over
named
by
Tech
Tech Wing.
with a Revenant, ready to kill, ready to
This is
swing.
Tech Wing, not Meteor.
And I like that Rossifel is kind of holding the scan. He's rather just
Revenant with the wingman.
here and eventually get that one. But good shots with the wingman, 38. But still,
Oh, Jenny has been
Able to at
deployed.
least
That
get
Archer
flesh.
is not gonna do anything.
oh, the shots from the wingman from the
Oh,
right side,
the
from
Gibby
head catch.
bubble.
Naya, he can just queue on out as well, so that rolling thunder is not really gonna affect anything in this fight. So Kuroton
That's solid.
forcing to pop that ultimate. So did the Gibby. So 2 ultimates down already for them, but still look at the Naya from the side. Good shot from the
Jeez.
wingman. He does get Nemu down. There is still 2 members left alive, but still the cover
And now you push
is not
that?
there for the side of Meteor. Nemu is out. And Anaya looking for the rest of the squad, but Techwing more worried about the circle more than anything, as Riddle Order is now starting to pull up into Climatizer.
Now there's more and more teams pulling in.
Chat, remember how I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to be still feeling good for this gym? One game later, I'm like, nah, fuck that.
Round 4 already. Still 18 squads in the lobby. Riddle Order running the Watson Banger and Conduit. They will be looking pretty healthy for a fight.
I think we're just going to have to start this week up with moving to our 5-day routine instead of 6.
Your 1 HP. Fennel eliminated off screen. 17 squads remaining. Anaya still strong and alive. And now they're going against Riddle Order.
Oh, Conduit ult has been popped, so Riddle Order, they do have that position initially.
Remember, Riddle Order's done a really good job getting their placement points so far.
At least some damage before they go fully into the fight, before they
They fall here,
commit.
though.
But Riddle does have a really great
Wow,
spot in
spate
this
for
position. They just
Crazy
stay here the entire
Raccoon.
time. The circle
POS.
kind of friendly for them, honestly. They can just
Some
slide
of those
on
other
down if
teams
there
that are
is a team
behind them
in
to
the
catch
low
up, if
ground,
not
but
past them.
Still,
Especially because if they go out right now, they wouldn't be getting any
of their
placement
presence
points.
here, they don't want people to spot the top side of this, but they just want to finish off this last team.
But speaking of positions, Sneaky, they are outside of the zone and we are already seeing it close. More and more teams getting into aggressive fights, into dangerous fights because they now have to fight for space. And unlike Tech Wing, Riddle Order is not inside the ring.
Yeah, and if TechWing times this correctly, they're gonna spot the Riddle Order playing right next to them, possibly on the low ground to give them the
They're going to
advantage,
try and
but
use that ulti to rotate.
playing the walls. They're not showing
Bang
themselves
ulti.
yet. They're waiting for Ibuo to have that right timing on that Rolling Thunder, and that he does. Riddle Order, that's going to ruin your plans, maybe by just a bit, but Anaya from the side already getting...
Now
it down,
everyone
incoming,
rotating
one
this
tapping
way. You
on
just
the
had
HP.
a
Kinatrope
whole squad drop in. Kinatrope's down to a
and
solo. They're
gonna
going to go
get
out in
taken down by
16.
SBI from the backside, and Kinatrope out in 16.
And now's gonna be when the
That's
dominoes
gonna
start
be
to fall.
brutal for them, and SBI also having to deal with another squad incoming in their general area. And here comes Vortex Wolf from above, but the triple take doing absolute
Their overlays
damage here
having a
in
hard
the
time keeping
background.
up right now.
Order's
Riddle Order is
eliminated.
going to be out, though.
Northeption is out.
Northeption
We got our top
also
10.
out.
Vortex Wolf from the high ground.
The kill feed is on fire,
Tech
everybody.
Wing out.
Tech Wing eliminated 9 squads left. So many teams just died in very different areas of World's Edge. And now we have SBI trying to stay low-key. After seeing what happened to the kill feed that went on fire, it burned and they realized, oh, the lobby's kind of hot. We need to play it safer. Meanwhile, Area 310, yes, we'll send it on. Armor swap from Milim, really nice, but is it enough?
Oh, Milim.
Another armor swap. Lemon, it's all up to you now.
Oh.
It's not enough. Lay outside. The duo Watage and Irie kinda survive. 7 squads remaining. Meanwhile, Enter Force 36 down with the solo. It's all up to Irie.
Yeah. And the Conduit kind of saving the skins of that last fight for the side of Play Outside.
And look at that. Almost all of the teams are just looting. So many fights happened all at once. We weren't even to get any observations on what had happened. Meanwhile, Vortex will finally spot this team, SBI Esports, and they are getting zoned out from rotating. Round 5 is closing.
All right,
and
17 is
Meteor
his 5th
is
ring's
also
closing in
in
here,
front of
chat.
them.
Oh,
Good nade from Kuriton.
good thermite, good nade,
Ooh.
but they can't go in just yet.
Meanwhile, Enter Force 36.
Could be a good
play
ulti
outside,
too, give them
eliminated.
some
This is
value.
the top 5. We have Meteor. We have SBI Esports getting into their own skirmish against Vortex Wolf. Kuma goes down. Sami beaming people on the sky. Running the Valkyrie. The sky belongs to him.
Yeah.
I feel like if they keep this high ground, they're in a good spot here, even though they're only playing as a duo.
Sad that they're gonna lose it. Kuma already down, Sammy down as well, and I think this Catalyst might be right up next as Vortex Wolf finally goes down. 3 squads left, 8 people left alive, and they know that there is there's a team still within this train. But they do have the generator, but Kuriton, good
So Enter
spray,
Force 36
does
is
get
the
the
only
kill on
duo.
Sangjun, but Karanpi does get one back, but they do have the Watson, so they can just get the quick res. The fence is doing so much delay, but Obli trying to peek in, but the fence is doing so much work, but good shot from Rogi.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
and then the
Yo,
fence.
It grief him. And now your top 2, Meteor, going against the full squad of Kokolobi Gaming.
Kokolobi trying to get some cleanup incoming, but could it be another 2v3 situation for the side of Meteor?
Wow,
Nope, it's not gonna happen.
Kokolobi
Kokolobi
Gaming.
gets the win. but what a play for that second place.
So much chaos. It kills
Coco
me.
Lobby
Catching
before
fire.
that game
It's
was
just
sitting down in
insane.
14th,
This is
so that's
match
going to
number
move them up
5,
the
and your
leaderboard a
champions,
bit,
Coco
but
Lobby Gaming.
unless they were to pop off and have another successive game after that, I mean, you're just getting yourself a couple of extra points for the day, but they're not in contention to be top 5 or anything. Yeah, see, none of this makes sense, man. Take a look at scoreboards here real quick, chat. After game 5, Reject is going to be in the lead. 15 kills Reject had that last game. A 22-point game for them. Jeez, Luis. So Brittle Order ends up dropping a 3rd after going out early. Play Outside and Reject currently sitting in 1st. Talk about a story for Reject. You get dropped by Realize. Realize's new roster is playing awful. And you're vibing. Chat, reminder before we go into game number 6 here. Your boy doesn't stay around very long after game number 6 is done, especially once we have scoreboards. It is early in the morning here on the East Coast here in the States. I'm going to be going to sleep and then waking up and starting to get a little prep work done for the new video before we have EMEA and NA tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got watch parties starting. First lobby is EMEA at 1 o'clock. We'll probably do like we did today, pop live about 10 minutes before. But yeah, your boy definitely ain't going to the gym. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick to make sure we're good for this next game, our 6th and final game. We're gonna hit a quick ad over on the Purple app. Back. All right. All right, chat. One last trip over to World's Edge. Let's take one more look over at our leaderboards going into game number 6. Also, let me check and see. Yep, it looks like Wikipedia is up to date, so we will update our scoreboards over on the purple and red apps. Ducky texted you, didn't he? No, I wasn't talking that shit. Oh. Nah, ain't no talking no shit. Not for me. I would never, sir. You know me. I'm a good boy. I behave.
Hello and welcome back to the Apex Legends Global Series Split 1 for the APAC-North. My name is Sneaky Frog. With me is Raccoon Lily. We just had 5 games of...
See, but this scoreboard isn't right.
Matches so far. Lots of expected results, lots of unexpected results as well. Lots of teams that are, despite being outside
currently
the top 10, performing really well.
Yeah, your boys from the old Realize roster.
They got the better timing going into these circles. But Lily, man, I mean...
Meanwhile, the new Realize roster.
Some of the teams here, because some of them are actually playing well. But I'm talking about Kinotrope here, man. 5 points and 1 kill this entire time.
Not doing so hot.
A good time for them, that is for sure.
Indeed, Sneaky, you're right about that. Some of the teams not really having a very fun day one. Meanwhile, some are completely popping off. We have Reject, Riddle Order, and Crazy Raccoon in the top 5. Oh, and of course, Northeption.
Oh, they played for Crazy Raccoon,
winning the
split 1 last
match.
year, huh?
As we head into the final match of the day, we might be seeing a bit more changes, maybe some in the bottom 10, possibly getting that one juicer game to push them into the top 10 and hopefully save their chances of risking it all for the next few match days, because as you know, we have a bunch of match days. The more time you spend trying to figure it out, the less chances you have at qualifying for the playoffs.
What is this?
Possibly you might end up even in the bottom 10 of Pro League. You won't make it to the regional final, so it's very important to stay consistent.
This is still wrong. This is still wrong.
And now we are heading into
That's
match
also wrong.
number 6, our final game of World's Edge and our final game of match day number 1.
Let's see, we might even get a northeast pool this time, just to, you know, have a bit of difference within the lobby itself. But all in all,
So it's like a team that 2 different duos kind of got together, essentially.
For some of the
2 different duos that have history, anyways.
teams, especially Meteor here, who's done a really good job of just kind of staying within the top 10, but also, you know, has been qualifying for these top 5s a lot for these past few games.
Oh, that is true indeed. A lot of these teams really popping off despite not having a lot of Pro League experience.
All right,
it
chat.
just
One
goes
more
to show
time.
how
Spin that
dynamic
record, baby.
a game
Dudum
like
doo
Apex
doo.
Legends is, and how
Let's
fast
dance
to
and
adjustment
drop on
you need
World's
to be
Edge.
in order to keep up. And I don't
Dudum
even
doo
think
doo.
it's because of the meta or the nerf changes. I think it's really more in the decision making that is pushing some of these teams to the edge of their performance limits, causing them to play not really good, to be so inconsistent so suddenly.
Yeah, maybe it's the day one nerves. It's always
Yeah, it's always the day one nerves, the
Gotta shake it off.
psychological aspects of competitive gaming, but that's exactly what makes cheering on these players even more rewarding, because you're supporting teams that are really up there, really into the game, practicing, scrimming almost every day. That's a lot of work, that's a lot of hours. VOD reviewing, watching their own games, and even figuring out how do the circles are reading. Meanwhile,
yeah.
let's do some circle readings ourselves. Seems that we have a southern police
It's
zone with the
interesting
entirety of
listening to the
Pulverex
different
weapon
people when they come
pulling
on and
towards
talk
it. We also
to
have-
different Apex pod, like the different people on the Apex podcast,
It's a
Is it
tree zone. I
and
haven't
listening
seen
to how
any-
many
haven't
people
seen
like
that
what they
in
do
a
during their
while,
VOD
actually.
review.
Not
Also,
even
big
this
zone for Riddle Order.
I think I've seen it like
They aren't gonna have to
twice.
move it all from
And
tree.
Usually the team that is holding that back choke is doing the most damage to anyone in this level.
RNG's is hooking them up.
We are now seeing some rotations finally filing in. Some of them don't really have to move too much. Fennel, actually, this is going to be good for them because they don't really have to move from their spot too hard. But they got to guess right on where the circle is going to end up. So, yeah, hopefully they do get that one going. But Riddle, who has been really trying to get that first dub of the day, is, still within the means of the top 5. They've been consistently top 5, honestly, for all of these games. But still have yet to find that elusive win.
You're right about that, Sneaky. Truly, consistency is key. And speaking of placements and everything else that has been happening, we have Crazy Raccoon pulling towards tree, the first of many teams to do so.
Yeah, just gonna pick this card. They do have that Watson, so that's gonna be a viable.
They've
choice
got to
for
do the
them.
thing on
So,
OBS where when you do your
some of these hills,
transitions,
does wanna switch with his teammates since he's the one who
it
actually
doesn't
has the
blend the
but, yeah, no,
audio
maybe
and taper it
maybe
down.
Going for something else here, maybe going for the something deeper within the zone, but nah, they're just gonna stay here for now at least.
Feels like a lot of the teams have already figured it out. After all, most of them were running a Watson. Meanwhile, a different kind of fight is happening over by the edge side.
Oh, there's even someone ballooning from the backside so they can enter the building. It's actually Play Outside who's getting pushed in. And there is someone on the second floor, or rather the third floor, as Play Outside's playing the second near the plants. But Play Outside is trying to delay with these Arc Stars. The temp shields are there from the conduit, but still, look at Play Outside really just trying to dodge this team as much as possible. Maybe to just try and get their meds inside of them. But O2 Esports, they're going to opt out of the fight. They're just going to say no. We'd rather just stick it to the zone.
And seems that that's it for this fight.
What do we feel
Not a
like the
lot of
big
things
stories
happening
have
at
been
the
from
moment.
APAC-North that should be covered?
It really seems to me, it really appears to me that APAC-North teams don't really like fighting by the edge.
I mean, obviously, whoever
Feels like the
walks
only
away with the dub, but
edge teams is the fact that their distance towards the center of the zone.
I guess it depends on kind of how this game
Meanwhile, what is happening over here with
goes
Play
down.
Outside,
If Reject has another like
rotate
big
into
finish,
mod, possibly.
imagine Reject has another top 3
Yeah, but I think they assume
Finish.
that mod is going to be clear.
to be able to
since
have
the
to come
team
back
that's
to be able to
already
take
losing
home the
it
dub.
Probably is out already. Is gonna
Riddle
try to
Order
look for
with the
spot somewhere
back-to-back-to-back
else.
second place
Meanwhile,
finishes.
There's action happening over here at Landslide, and I guess we're a bit too late to it. No action's happening. Rotate.
The 14 kill
Rotate, a lot
dub
of
from
people
Crazy
running lots
Raccoon
of
in
full
game
screen
number
shots.
3.
Toshi Sparks
That game ending was pretty solid if I
overlooking the
remember right. We might
landslide
at least throw
which
that
was
one in the
once,
video.
Home to like at least 4 squads, but those squads are already out looking for a better position within the zone. But they have to be careful within the tunnel, though. That is a very, very ratable spot, but I don't think anyone is going to do exactly that just yet.
Yeah, it seems to be the reoccurring pattern on what has been happening on the day so far is you try to pick a fight, it doesn't give you a snowball or a crazy advantage, and then you just rotate out of it. Simple as that.
Oh, I just think it's cool that we see a lot
Posture
of
is very safe.
people
really
using
a
it.
lot of risking involved. But at the same time, that's why the mid games get so chaotic because there's so many teams alive. And I'm not sure how the decision making is going inside these pro players' minds. Maybe they're trying to run a decision making system.
It was a good
because
collab,
with
to be
so many
fair.
things happening, the chaos, the kill feed is on fire. I'm not sure how exactly you can manage that.
Yeah, for sure. And like the amount of teams also occupying tree at the moment is getting higher and higher. As I think the position that Keenostrope is actually holding near the choke, I think that's a fine position to hold, especially I think by the time that the last circle comes around, they have a bit to walk into. But yeah, most of the teams just gonna be seeing them flying on in. But oh, first blood already, and it comes in the way of Tai, with Watage already down because of that nemesis. But Meteor, oh, also getting shot.
Kuroton saved by that Gibby bubble.
But they're fighting under the bridge.
Ooh, Gibby ult being deployed.
Yeah, they had to get out of that spot. I think if they stayed on the bridge, the Gibby ult would have not mattered at all.
That is true. And now a Bangalore ult has been popped. Rolling Thunder here, adding to the chaos of what's happening at the outskirts of Tree.
Yeah, it's a fight for survival here for Meteor as Kokolobi is actually looking over this bridge, and I think they realize that there's still teams coming in from Harvester, but there's also a team on the other side of the bridge. Kokolobi with the first blood already for their side. But they're gonna have to back it up. The drone is still in the air for this crypto as Meteor witnessing this entire fight from the low ground, but
Good recovery over there from the side of Meteor with Kuroton back into action, looking pretty healthy. Now he can win his 30-30, but turns out these teams also play as careful as them, not really showing presence. And it's almost as if there's really nothing happening at Tree right now, but that can't be any more farther from the truth because look at that, Enter Force 36 now joining the action with
I think
Avon.
over at Tree, though, everyone's going to be too scared to start things off because they know everyone's already piled in over here.
Ignores it instead because
Like, even look at where Enter Force 36 is, right? Like, you can use your
Enter Force
Watson fences
36
to play
back from
wide.
that last fight, still having to recover a bit.
oh, the Jenny eating one of the catalyst spikes, but not to worry.
But,
I
like,
think they do
that's
have a lot of
not
time,
a
but
very good
how
spot, dog.
The drone, it's just
I don't
scared
love
to
it.
Scare people, I guess. Mind games everywhere.
Yeah, I think they're trying to look to set up a fight here. EMP is in a really good spot, or at least the drone is in a really good spot, so that could destroy the gen in an instant. And there it is, the EMP. However, the gen wasn't broken. Hold up, Enter
Big
Force 36. You have an opportunity here
gets
to possibly win the
stopped.
fight. How messed up heavy, and I don't think they're gonna go for it. I think
Yep.
they realize they messed up.
Yep, that's one crypto EMP out from the utility side of that team, and the Jenny is still well and alive.
Wait, I think it was destroyed. I think he still has the ult.
Possibly. At this point in time, some of the teams are already pouring into the tree side. A lot of things are possible.
Yeah, and he's like, thank God.
Is this the
my-
one that gets, like,
my
split
drone
up
got
by the
destroyed. That
mountain?
ultimate was,
Or it's on the
less
edge of the
ideal,
mountain
that
in
is
the
for sure.
thing?
But still, Circle drawing in towards our south side here, and ooh, smack dab
like
in
here?
the middle, in front of Tree and at the back of Harvester. So it's gonna be a field zone.
Meanwhile, we have a bunch of teams just scouting it out. Some even choosing a very far rotate towards the side of Harvester.
A lot of teams on this bridge, honestly. E36. You have to be careful. There's like
Chat, teams are just going to be poking and prodding for now. We're at 57 people still
in
left.
your area.
Anybody that falls here, and it could be nobody important. I'm going to run a quick ad, so we're going to be good through the rest of the game 6, all right?
From the spot that they're playing at and the resources that they have, they still have quite a lot actually. Enough for end game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But playing from under the bridge, not really the best.
The fact that aimbot still has white armor is not gonna be good news as soon as this round 3 circle finally
Yeah,
closes.
dude, you
and
got
they're
2
gonna be
blue
forced to
shields
fight
and a
in these
white tee for
situations.
Enter 36. They're in
Thankfully, they
trouble,
do have a lot
dog.
of resources on their side. Not really still quite okay with the economy game.
Yeah, aimbot needs to start to work on those car players though, because you know that's some free damage you can get from the triple take. especially 5 CGs peeking around the corner. You can get a 362.
It's crazy to think that HAO was in such a good spot off the back-to-back third place
but
finishes,
obviously it's not gonna happen.
and they've just kind of
corner, not show
gone
presence at all.
quiet
Let
since.
the information go to you instead. But if you do have a crypto just like HAO, you can see the entirety of the action at this very moment.
Still 20 squads remaining. What are Gashi doing? Supreme surveillance work. Nobody really shooting down that drone. You can see the Watson fences. You can see where the teams are camping, where the teams are lurking. 20 squads left still. No squad eliminated so far. And it's
Only
tricky,
3
but
players have been
is
eliminated.
that
That's
a
crazy.
raid? I see.
Oh, Wraith Portal gets into the portal just in time, but oh, someone else is in there.
Back
Bangalore.
and forth.
Goes back in just right in time. Gashi back with the drone play.
Oh.
Trying to scout where is that team? Is that a raid? But as we know, there's only one raid in the lobby. And
I
it's
did
with
not know that,
Area
Moon. No.
310's team.
Yeah, and I think they could just stay here the entire time. Honestly, that was a really good play from the side of HAO to take position of what was supposed to be E36s, but unfortunately is now occupied by a whole another
Crazy
team.
Raccoon's about to be in a fight. Can we see the Crazy Raccoon fight? Can we see the Crazy Raccoon fight? Can we see the Crazy Raccoon fight?
But we're waiting for that
Hey,
one break point.
observers.
That's
Can I
what
see
we
the
are looking
Crazy
for
Raccoon fight,
in this
please?
game.
Pretty please?
Wow, but look at this, man. Circle just getting
Pretty
smaller.
please?
Still teams opting in to play within cover, but Fennel, first one down for the entire lobby. I'm actually pretty
Bruv.
about that. Fennel had zone in this game. I mean, they landed in landing site, so they should have had south, but fortunately, it didn't happen. I think another team kind of rolled up to their plate, and they're like, all right, this is our spot now. But yeah, I mean, Meteor kind of in position, but I think this is where it ends. Does it?
I think it might end by the bridge side, if not by the mountain side. There's a lot of zones that do close here by the mountain. But as you can see, 19 squads remaining in the kill feed is slowly catching fire. I can see the spark of APAC-North SBI Esports eliminated. And I can
Alright,
hear
so a lot of our usual,
gunshots going on, specifically over here at the
victims
side
here
of Lava
early.
Siphon.
O2
There's way
Esports
too
out.
much action.
Oh.
Infamous going down. It's all
Looks
up
like
to
Meteor's
Yuta
about to be
now.
dropping
Yuta
here
no
as
longer
well.
The Valkyrie now on the horizon, zoning him out with the gravity lift. Grenade has been thrown and attempting to rest the Bangalore, who is Iron, but Moze, they're fighting against Moze.
Yeah, Mo is still 3 strong in this fight, so they get to swing on in because their numbers are superior. 128 almost on the fetch, but do they know that someone is right behind them? Good shots from Wyatt Chang to get down Iron, and Utah, the last one left alive, has a decision to make. Is it time to abandon the banners? I think it might just be.
Yeah, I mean,
but Mo's
of course you're gonna
has to
abandon the
fight a
banners.
whole
You,
nother team
dog,
here,
it
and
is
I
the
think
4th
Reject
ring. There's
starting
just
to
not.
poke
There's
through these
17
windows, but I
teams
don't think
alive.
they're gonna let go of that
There's
high
no
ground.
way you're getting a revive here.
Quite a lot of things
The
is
fuck?
happening at the side of Lava Siphon. The circle isn't even pulling towards there. It feels like the teams are just trying to gatekeep each other at this point, Sneaky.
Yeah, no one's letting anyone pass, not at least for free. You gotta pay the toll.
Speaking of toll, though, wonder what Vortex Wolf is up to at the moment. In their silly corner, given that the ring is pretty dense at the moment, with 17 squads still alive, still playing, and it's almost round 4 closing.
Yeah, it's up to that ult, but still, I mean, the team on top of you has Ronson, so you really don't know if the generator is there or not. So someone from Vortex Wolf might have to peek around the corner just to try and see where the generator is.
Is Mo's
And
in
look at
striking
that,
distance?
we have
No, they're like
Valkyrie
14th.
ultimate from the side of Crazy Raccoon as they head
Rejects,
further
though,
into
they're
zone with
in a nice little spot.
What spot? I don't know about this one.
I don't know about this one. It feels like this feels like the second time that a team has attempted to land there. I think the first one being realized
Mo's is out.
earlier into the game. Mo's meanwhile eliminated. 15
Reject
squads
just took them
remaining.
out.
There's none to
Enterforce
scout it
36th out in the 15th spot.
And Kokolo be gaming, the winners of match number 5. Possibly they might have.
I'm pretty sure
Win.
Rejects
They may
are gonna win this series, chat.
an angle. Nice crack over there. Yo, 66 with a 30-30.
Oh, and that's Rossipal going down to 30.
Where they,
doing so much damage, and it's not just one, but two 30-30s on this team. Maybe
Just
even
took out.
three.
I think
So
they
the
have it pretty
absolute
well.
damage they can do
That side of the
from
map kind of
distance is
clear.
insane from the side of Kokolobi. But the names are now starting to drop in this lobby. Play outside is out. Northeption is out.
A lot of teams are getting
Now's when you
eliminated.
start
The
seeing
kill
out
feed
all
is
the
catching
boxes
a
fall.
Spark way larger than it can handle. Tech Wing also eliminated. Northeption is also gone. 10 squads remaining. Half the lobby is back to the lobby, and there's no more games to play for today.
Yeah, that's your last semblance of redemption gone. If you are that team that was out of the picture in this situation. But Coco Lobby, I like what they're holding in this high ground, but I think Crazy Raccoon, they could possibly look for a win in this exact same position. As long as that team on top doesn't drop on them early, I think they're going to be safe.
Yeah,
Coco
it's
Lobby's
crazy
too far out.
Raccoon. If
Unless
did
they were to
this position
absolutely
where
snap
there's
here
the
from this
game
point out,
where
because you got
there's
half the
people
lobby left. They've got what,
inside
like
this
1, maybe 2
position.
kills,
I don't think they would be doing as well as they are now because they're out.
and they're at 29 points, and rejects are still in the lobby as well.
Shot at from so many different angles, but so far nobody's looking at them, which is actually saving them at the moment. Look at Jung Yi with the Nemesis actually getting some damage in. 118 left away from a red
Rejects might
armor.
actually win this.
It's trying to grief some of the teams rotating from the low ground here. I think that's just to stave off the
Even
teams
if they
in
were
the
to go
spot,
out
but
here
the
relatively
reject-
soon.
oh,
I
the
think,
instant tap safe
maybe
after
not.
He sees the rampart walls in the corner. Obli, no armor on him instantly. Obli already down. Sangjun gonna have to carry the fights here as that Bangalore with the Digi threat. Oh, but this is gonna be a whole lot of trouble for Reject.
That's
but
great.
The damage is absolutely massive from Sangjun.
Sangjun just playing with them mind games, speaking from so many different angles.
Oh my
His tempo
gosh,
is
Sangjun.
unmatched at the moment now. Running out of
Who
ammo,
says that
going
the
to
30-30 was
30-30,
nerfed on
trying
the
to
hip fire?
melee
Oh
him.
my
He could
goodness.
reload, but no,
Wow.
he doesn't have time. Obli trying to crawl into the zone, hoping not to die, and there you have it.
There
We
they
have
go.
a
They should be able to
rest.
get the reset here
Vortex
now as well.
Eliminated 8 squads remaining.
And I think their side of the zone should be clear. They actually might be able to get a full
Work with
reset and
here
win this thing.
for the rest of the teams.
Ooh.
Oh, Kokolobi goes down.
There goes the back-to-back win angle. 7, 6 squads remaining. Crazy Raccoon is also out.
Oh, I think the end game is incoming here, Lily. I think the end game is incoming.
Quite a lot of teams in very different positions. Now Reject is occupying the lower side of the bridge. Meteor still in their comfy. Chuck Kuruton now has a red armor. As you can see, they dropped here really early into the game with Kuruton almost dying.
All right,
Even
top 6
Dylan
Reject still in.
Solo, Bangalore getting shot out in the open. Run to the horizon.
Oh, this isn't
Horizon
Reject, this is
doesn't
310.
even notice.
Ooh, and here it comes.
They're a solo. They're in trouble.
Still trying to get some disruption going, but the low ground is still being owned by one team. But Satoshi Sparks are looking to see if they can take advantage of this bridge, and that they do. Riddle Order is eliminated because of it. And Satoshi Sparks looking for the positive. that
Yeah,
they
I
can
think
gain
at this
from
point,
today's
Rejects have
games.
done enough.
Reject looking good at the moment. Meteor still in their trusty truck over there. Satoshi Sparks taking advantage of their hype. And
I mean, this
how
is the last
coming
game.
from the seaside, not looking to
Area
don't have a lot of
310's
space,
in,
don't have a
HAO's
lot of
in.
cover. They do have a Bangalore though, but hopefully the
Yeah,
smokes
I
are
don't think
enough.
anyone's within
Maybe the
striking
Jenny
distance. I'm
can
pretty
save
sure it's
them.
just.
Maybe they still have a chance. Right, trying his best to stay alive. Manages to place a Jenny for Team Ao. Watagashi though, their crypto is down. And now they just need to play this fight as a duo, but pretty dangerous. If you ask me, Sneaky.
Reject are in this, right?
Team member
Like, that's
on this
them?
stock as a duo this late into the game. Final round closing 5 CG, tanking a bit of ring damage, and now off the ultimates, everything's exploding.
They
now
are not.
eliminated. Now Reject is going against Satoshi Sparks and Meteor.
There's Satoshi
There's
Sparks
no
that are in
high,
there.
There's no low
Oh, it's
ground.
Meteor, it's in there.
all an even playing field.
Oh.
Never
Oh,
is
you
the
just gave
first
them a
to
bubble.
Go down. Kuruton with the beat
Wow.
on the R99 takes down Obli, and now attempting for the Surge wasn't successful. Roki, the only one left alive. It's not enough. Satoshi Sparks wins match number 6.
There we go. Satoshi Sparks taking advantage of that high ground, taking advantage of that bridge position, and got that very easy win, and that is pretty much it the last win goes to them.
There you have it, folks. That's it for match
All right,
day
Chad. That's our
number
6
1.
games.
6 games. And that's your final game of Rose Edge.
They're probably going to have the wrong scores. So let's take a look over yonder. I mean, I don't think that's the right score for Reject. But I don't think it really matters because Reject is going to be on top. They should be. So they finished 4th. I don't think they're at 86 points. I don't think that's right. Because we know Play Outside was in 2nd heading into that last match. There it is. All right, chat. Reject's going to take game number, or take the day. I wouldn't say these points mean nothing. Especially APAC-North has less spots, I think, than any other region. Oh, correct. Like the amount of points they have. But yeah, that's what I meant. Even the placements weren't right. But this has everything up to date here. So Rejects, the former Realized team, part of the duo from Crazy Raccoon that were in when they were in last year, gonna come out on top by a good margin too. Riddle Order and Crazy Raccoon 2nd and 3rd, Play Outside in 4th, and Sutachi Sparks in 5th to round out the top 5. Northeption kind of a disappointing day in 8th. Fennel 13 points down in 17th. Kinotrope Gaming, a team that I was looking forward to, with 11 points in 19th. That's tough. Tough. Well, all right, chat. That's going to do it for us, man. Appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with your boy. We got watch parties tomorrow. EMEA at 1 p.m. and then NA at 6 p.m. All right? Make sure y'all are tuned in. Hope to catch y'all then. Appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Y'all are absolutely amazing. Keep an eye on the YouTube. We got shorts dropping. We're going to be doing, obviously, a TLDR for ALGS this week. We dropped the podcast episode in case you did not catch that Thursday night. The full episode is up on YouTube. What else is there? I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah, I think that's it, man. So I'm going to get up on out of here. Love you guys. You have a great rest of your night. Till we catch y'all back here for the next one, man. Don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.